Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a wonderful time tonight. I have a few gentlemen at backstage ready to get on to discuss Tim Kennedy going into a 360-degree shoot house, which was a very fun watch and, of course, relevant for what's going on today. But before we get into that, we, of course, have a sponsor, the only sponsor, and by definition, the biggest sponsor of the channel, and that's going to be Gun Slaps for stickers and patches of varying degrees of autism. And now if you also want to check out their Instagram, very funny, slightly edgy memes. You know, they might pick on a few groups here or there, but of course their actual products, which are quite funny as well. You have different styles of patches, stickers, and all sorts of nonsense, including like that big flag that's behind me, which is the Neighborhood Warlord. All right. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get some other fine gentlemen on here. We have Trench Grenade and Richard joining us tonight. How is everyone doing?
Anytime there's a chance to shit on Tim Kennedy, I'm the first one in the shoot, baby. What's up, guys?
There you go. That's awesome. Richard, how's your night been?
Well, it was good up until I looked outside just a few minutes ago and seen helicopters and spotlights and emergency vehicles surging through the neighborhood.
Did they ever find the guy? Was it like a ambulance situation or like somebody from the cops?
There was a couple of cop cars that were running around at high rates of speed, and there was at least one ambulance that was going towards the water. Looked like there may have been another one up towards the front of the neighborhood, but there was two helicopters and both birds had their lights on, so they were looking for somebody.
Yeah. Damn. Florida sounds crazy.
It's wild. It's wild. They had the boat parade going on, so I'm sure there was a bunch of drinking. I thought I heard some gunshots, but I knew that there was fireworks going on as well, but then there was a couple of them that sounded exactly like pistol shots. And yeah, so they keep it real.
Yeah. Now we are going to be talking about this shoot house tonight. Quantum asks, how many grenades did they throw? Yes, that would have been a much faster way to clear the shoot house. Correct. Now, before we get going into this, Trench, did you have anything you want to say about Mr. Kennedy? Because I haven't actually heard your thoughts on the...
Yeah, man. I mean, it goes for any dude, right? And we were talking a little bit about another individual backstage. We can maybe get into that later. But if at any point in your life as an adult, especially an adult male, you are talking about your work, off work, so adamantly, and you're taking pictures with a sergeant major of the Army as a master sergeant or a first sergeant in the Guard or Reserve, regardless of being special operations, special forces or not, something's going on. Something's wrong, right? So Tim Kennedy, there's always been a little bit off about him, right? About his whole, I guess, persona, and him. He sells himself. He's a vet bro. He sells himself. He is, I don't know. He is, what is it? Never. What do they say in The Office? Never be a what? Oh God, I'm forgetting the quote. But he's always trying to sell his own image and his own persona,
Right.
which is, that's the problem. That's the problem with Tim Kennedy, and that's why no one likes him, to be honest. And no one. So normies like him, right? All the normies that want to buy an FN 5.7, they really like Tim Kennedy. But everyone that doesn't want an FN 5.7 or that really bad plate carrier that he wears all the time, I don't know what it is that he's got going on, but it's not a legitimate plate carrier setup for being a special forces operator that he actually is. It's interesting about his plate carrier setup. But yeah, it should be suspicious to everybody in chat if a master sergeant E8 is taking pictures with certain people. Something's going on behind the scenes, and he's definitely full of himself, that's for sure. Insert pedigree comment here.
Right, exactly. I think Tim Kennedy seems to be more of a brand than an actual person, right?
Yeah.
Especially online. And he has a staunch group of defenders. And of course, with everything out about his book and whatnot, it's a fun time for everyone.
Would you call his defenders sheepdogs?
Oh no.
Ooh. Isn't that his thing, sheepdog response or something? Or is that something else?
So you know what's crazy? My brother, so this was like 6 years ago or 5 years ago. I've been active duty for a minute now, over a decade. And he sent me a recommendation. He's like, you should really check out this book by Tim Kennedy. And it was Tim Kennedy with either an American flag, him in a plate carrier, or something with a knife or something like that, right? The back or the cover photo. And I'm like, hey man, I'm not telling you what to my brother, I'm like, hey man, I'm not telling you what to or to not follow, but that dude is a joke in the infantry. Like everyone makes fun of him at work in the infantry. So
now there was I believe this is the reference that a lot of people talk about. Let me actually pull this up real fast. Put that on stage. This is the reference most people are talking about when they say Tim Kennedy is anti-2A. So we'll go ahead and listen to this.
Regulated militia. Now, well-regulated militia has meant a lot of things. To include gun laws. Are some good gun laws on the books? And any form of regulation or laws, in my mind, is gun control. And there are good forms of gun law. I'm a libertarian. I'm a constitutionalist in every form of the word.
So obviously kind of a contradiction in terms to be talking about good gun control, good gun laws, and then right after that to be like, I'm a libertarian, I'm a constitutionalist.
yeah,
Two things don't quite mesh together well.
he's been swallowed up by corporate media. Like Tim Kennedy is like Coleon Noir. Like I'm just gonna shoot that round right across the bow of the ship, right? People think, oh, Second Amendment, whatever. You must be a Second Amendment guy. You got Coleon Noir going on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about whatever, right? So like, oh, he's a gun guy. And then you got Tim Kennedy coming in right next to him. It's like the same person. When I think Coleon Noir or I think Tim Kennedy, not to Coleon, if you ever see this, I'm sorry, brother. But you are kind of in that same boat now of like corporate Second Amendment. So definitely don't do that to yourself.
Coleon is way worse.
That's a good way of putting it. Corporate 2A. I like that term. I'm going to start using that more. Corporate 2A.
Dude, I saw a video. I'm just going to shit all over Coleon Noir right now. So this was not planned. So I was watching, this was like a couple of years ago. He posted a video about my dad carried what was it? He's like, my dad carried is some ridiculous choice of a gun. I'll think of it in a second, but it was like the worst option for any sort of duty or personal defense or concealed carry or whatever. And Coleon Noir is like, because my dad grew up and trusted this gun, I recommend you go buy it. And that's when I was like, stop, full stop. This dude is completely corporate, Second Amendment. He has lost my confidence completely at this point. He used to be relatively based. If you think back in the day, Coleon started out like pretty based. He was talking about 40 versus 45 or 9 versus 45 or what, just pretty like average.
Yeah, I was gonna say that used to be the conversation, right? It was like caliber discussions, Glock versus Sig versus Smith and Wesson, all of that sort of stuff. But you see a lot of these channels that did start out relatively based. You can name basically all of the big ones off the top of your head. As they got more money, as they got more followers, of course, they quickly went from being, generally good, I would say, most of the time good, to being corporate shills, corporate sellouts, and their videos are essentially ways to sell ad space, right? Some of these guys are running like 60, 90-second ads in the middle of their videos for $20, $30, $40,000 a pop. And the content of the video isn't for any like higher moral purpose. It's just to make money. Right?
Let's talk about that. Right. And that's an amazing point, dude. So listen, to everyone that ever sees this video, the Second Amendment is not a community. Every person is their own person, right? The Republican Party is not just the Republican Party. Every person is their own person. So anytime you go to bat for somebody just because they carry a gun or advocate for gun rights, generally speaking, or they make their money promoting gun rights, they're not part of the Second Amendment. And I want to use Lucas Botkin as a perfect example, right? He has done a lot of good for the Second Amendment. Can we all agree on that? I think we can all agree. He's done a positive amount, right? Not a negative amount of good, or a negative amount of damage, but a positive amount of good. But when it comes to, you have to judge everybody on what they've done for you today, not what they've done for you in the past. And Tim Kennedy is a good example of that. Yeah, you did a lot of great stuff, in Iraq and Afghanistan, hopefully, right? We can all pretty much agree on that. He did something good. But it's what have you done for me today, or what have you done for me recently? If someone goes on a live stream and they say that civilians are hard to train because they're not good at training, or they're not trainable, or if Tim Kennedy,
I just say that's a bad trainer.
I do need to be careful with that, because if we're talking about the Pranka stuff, he was very drunk at the time, and he has a lot of civilians. So some of the stuff that he said on that, you kind of just gotta ignore. Right, and let him clarify that on his own. We can make fun of him for it, of course, but some of that was just bad.
Well, I mean, right? I'm not even necessarily talking about just that. Just any person ever. If Trench Grenade makes a video tomorrow saying that no person should own a gun and you should only have a Mosin Nagant with 2 rounds for home defense, that's bad. Like, send that person, shun that person, and not saying forever, but shun that person for a minute. Send them off. Hey, don't do that again. And then let them learn. Anytime you're like, hey, we're all a community, and if you've ever had a channel or if you've ever made a video ever, you're awesome. That's where we've gone wrong. If you blindly support any sort of any sort of freaking content creator ever, or personality, if you will, if you just blindly put the blinders on and like, I'm on team Koleon Noir, you're wrong.
Right, 100%. And that goes for all of us, right? Because I call out other people. I talk about what other people have done. And so that is the standard that we should be held to, right? If you think that somebody has done something wrong, you should have the moral fortitude to talk to them about it, right? Including me. So my fans should and do call me out for things if they disagree with whatever I'm doing, a sponsor, whatever it may be. And that's the way it should be, to keep everybody honest, right? So the hero worship in the gun community is problematic and overall bad.
Wilson Combat is a good one that I've been seeing lately, right? I don't know what the deal is with Wilson Combat. I know there are a bunch of FUDs that make 1911s and 2011s, right? And they used to make really good 1911 magazines. But what I've seen recently is people saying, what is it? Their new Division 77 or whatever the gun is. They have a new gun that's clearly it's a $4,200 gun. It's a 2011, but a lot of people are shilling for Wilson Combat because they're Wilson Combat. And it's like, hey man, they've had some people on their platform that have said some pretty stupid stuff, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? I don't remember. It was the red dot thing and not having a white light thing. Right.
That stuff is always cringe. I hate anytime you hear somebody advocate against red dots or against white lights, you can just stop, just move away from it. It's a waste of time. It gives you extra capabilities. It's an extra option. Like, just stop. There was a good comment in here that I want to respond to. Let me see if I can find it real fast, because of course it went away. It was about cancel culture. There it is. Aaron Robinson says, is Trench advocating for what is essentially cancel culture? Now, I want to talk about this because we can't cancel anyone. We do not have the power to take away sponsorships, to get people removed from the platform, to get them kicked off of YouTube. What we do is we publicly say, hey, sir, we think this is bad for X, Y, and Z reason, and you should stop doing XYZ for reasons A, B, and C, right? That's what we do. There is no chance of me canceling Garand Thumb. Never gonna happen. I can point and laugh at him and be like, hey, remember when you said this, but we're doing this, right? But I cannot ever cancel Garand Thumb. Never gonna happen, right? And so talking about Tim Kennedy's made his millions. If we point and laugh at a bad shoot in a shoot house, which is what we're going to be doing later on in the stream, that's just us pointing and laughing. It's not cancel culture. If we actively campaign to get them removed from existence, like that's a different story. But pointing and laughing at somebody and making our arguments as to why we think what somebody did was bad, that's just normal discourse, right? That's how conversations happen.
Yeah, and to look at let's look at the X-ray thing just specifically, because I think it's important for the audience to hear this. Immediately following the X-Ray Alpha Matt Pranka blowout session, right? I immediately DM'd him. We had a good conversation privately, not to put all our business out there. Like, hey man, it was an off night. It was a little bit weird. He basically stated that he's not here for the drama. He doesn't care what happens from the drama, but you know, things happen, mistakes happen. Sometimes you go out with the boys and you have a bad night, right? If that's your thing, or you have a bad lift if you go to the gym. Here's the thing. Him basically saying, I'm not here for the drama. I'm here to train. Cool. And we all understand that about him. So for people to watch one video and think, oh, I hate X-Ray Alpha or Matt Pranka because of this thing, wrong, bad take, right? He's still an excellent shooter. He's still done good things for our country and our quote unquote community. However, we're not trying to cancel anybody. It's holding people accountable. Like tonight, we all might disagree about something, and having a reasonable, calm discussion about why we disagree. And hey, you're still in the circle, but like, don't do that, or maybe reconsider your thought. Reconsider your actions, because what you're doing is super detrimental or hurtful to, gun rights or whatever the case may be, or training. Right? If you're teaching like legitimately unsafe or bad training, rethink it. But if you cancel them, this is where I'm trying to really get at. If you cancel said YouTuber, said Second Amendment YouTuber, if you cancel them, one, now you're shutting down their voice forever, which makes you look like the bad guy, right? So you always have to have freedom of speech, as long as it's not hurting anybody and it's promoting a discussion, a reasonable discussion to better everybody involved in the discussion. Then yeah, have X-Ray, have Garand Thumb, have whoever, have Kennedy Noir part of the discussion. Don't actually hate them for them being don't hate their person, hate their idea, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You want to argue the ideas, right? And with Matt, like me and Matt also had a conversation after that stream. He has agreed to come back on at a later point in time and actually discuss things a little better. But here to derail the conversation is one Mr. Vintage Warfare. How was your evening?
Nice.
Oh, can you actually hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you, sir.
All right, tight. Yeah, I just want to go out on a limb and say cancel Carl Cassandra. I'm reading you chat. I hear you. Cassandra, I don't care about his name that much. But anyways, we're talking about Tim Kennedy, my favorite inspiration ever. That guy's the shit. What?
Is that who you model your life after?
Yeah, I wake up and I do his morning ritual of smacking my nuts between two 2x4s, and just getting after it, taking some tren in the morning, getting in people's ways and cobble. That's usually how I start my day.
And then take pictures. You need to take pictures as you're leaving with whatever plate carrier he was wearing.
100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dude, who would you rather clear a room with? Tim Kennedy. Let's see. I was on a Kennedy Noir, or what's another bad one? Or Johnny Q. Live rounds. Everything's loaded up. you're gonna clear this room. You only got one of them. Which one are you picking?
So I think me and Johnny Q have a bond. I think me and Johnny would actually, you know, what's that one video game where it's like the two dudes in the mask and they got, you know, they're running around and they're fucking
Two
shit up.
guns. It's either two guns or something like that. I think I know what you're
I
talking
forget
about.
it. But that would be me and Johnny Q. Unironically. I mean that. It'd be me and Johnny. And he'd do it for Puerto Rico. I'd do it for, you know, do it for America. It'd be great. It'll be a good time.
Focus.
I still haven't taken that down yet, by the way. Sorry, not to cut you off.
I discovered Vintage Warfare based on vintage shitting on Johnny Q on your channel. It's like, this dude's pretty base. So now every time I see a gun slot video, I'm like, yes. And I get my fiance over here. I'm like, watch this. And it's just dudes in the ghetto, like with switches or something. And Vintage like, yeah, so that's generally unsafe. That's a residential area. I'm like, this is awesome, dude.
No, that's called a based. That's called based investing strategies. That's what you want to do to keep the local property values low. And so what they're doing is that's a money move. All right, it's just you're playing checkers, they're playing chess. Does that make sense?
Correct.
All right, you get it. It's you know, honestly, if we mag dumped every now and again outside of our homes, you know, yeah, maybe the single mother of 5 getting off her shift at Arby's, maybe she won't appreciate it a mile away from us, but you know what? I'm gonna like that more affordable housing personally. So that's my opinion on that whole deal. But thank you for watching my shit talking on Johnny Q. Dude, I appreciate that.
It was gold to watch him be like, dude, I don't want to fight you, and you're like,
no, he does.
No, dude, on the record, by the way, I never challenged him to box. That actually took me off. That actually caught me off guard a little bit. But should I win the Gundies, I'll make it funny. I'll put it to you that way. But yeah, no, I'm down. I don't give a fuck. But it was just like, bro, aren't you like 5'5"? I think he thinks I'm like his size. I'm going to SHOT Show for the express purpose of mogging him. I'm gonna height mog him on camera.
Hey, I'll record it for you.
Huh?
I said I'll be there. I'll record it for you.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, no, it'll be fun. I know some people are gonna get pissed because I forget. So somebody reminds me that I'm a part of Leviathan group once a year, one time, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, because I don't do anything through them. I don't get any sponsors through them because I'm not brand friendly, as Johnny Q would say. But the one time I asked them for something, I'm like, hey, can you give me a pass a shot? I don't have Instagram anymore. Otherwise I wouldn't have to go through that. And so they're actually going to like help me out with that. So the one perk of not being too lazy to email them that I'm leaving, it paid off for me. So that's good. And I'm not making any money on it. So really nobody could bitch to me about it unless I have to post receipts.
Yeah, you just use them for access. That's all.
I honestly, I forget once a year, somebody reminds me, oh, you're a Leviathan stooge. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm part of Leviathan group. Oopsie.
Before we get into this, have you ever done an ad spot on your channel?
I have. I've done Acre Gold.
Oh, really?
A gold subscription service. Yeah.
You did the worst. Okay.
Yeah. Well, this was like, I think the last one I did for him was like 3 years ago. Like, I'll go back and fact check that Reddit, but I think it's like 3 years ago. And this was when I was like not breaking like 30 or 40K views on my longs. And yeah, the only like I have a World of Tanks sponsor in January, which I think is mad. Didn't come from Leviathan Group, so like they don't do anything for me really, other than this aspect of it. I do know one of the guys there, and he's nice. I don't think they're like. There's some good people that were there or are there, but yeah, I don't know. I've heard that it's like 3 dudes in a shed. So who knows at this point? I hear so much bullshit via email that I don't know what to believe anymore. But yeah, at least maybe they'll get me in it. Well, maybe not after this live, but I'll get a pass. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Hop says hearing you refer to normal YouTube videos as long. I'm 45 years old. It's like, what are you talking about?
Dude, no, that's what people call them. It's crazy.
Gosh,
it's crazy. That's how brain rotted we are.
Mm-hmm. I need to get an overlay that it just has Subway or what is it? Subway scrollers?
Subway surfers.
Yeah, Subway surfers.
It's Subway surfers, baby.
Yeah. I don't even know the name, guys. I don't even know the name. Yeah,
Temple Run.
Vintage, I would have sent you this, but you have been unavailable since I can't find, or you didn't email me or whatnot. But
I did.
This guy that we're going, you did now, obviously. But this guy that we're going to go over later is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to send you his Instagram.
Okay. But I'm banned on Insta. So can I watch it?
I could download it and send it to you.
Do that, because otherwise I can't. I don't think I can watch it.
Insane, crazy mess. But before we get into this, we've been talking for 30 minutes already. A couple big super chats coming in. Logan sucks at shooting for $20. Thank you very much, sir. Says, unfortunately, I can't catch the live stream tonight. I'll have to watch the VOD at a later date. Hope you all are having a good night. We are, sir. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy it later. Hopefully, you can get some laughs out of it. Andrew Vachon for $20 says, I hate the fact that there are bad actors in the 2A space, but I love dunking on them. Yes, it's the inside you are two wolves. One of you hates cringe shills. The other one loves dunking on them.
The third one's gay.
Dude, there's always going to be bad actors in any quote-unquote community. These ones are just funnier than normal.
Yeah, well, and they've been around for a long time, and so people, at least up until late, haven't been desiring to call them out. But now it's a little more common. Yeah. Wilson Combat's fall as a channel and company has been a bit painful to watch. Loved hearing about the history behind tactics and gear. Sad. Very sad. Big sad they are now lame. Super lame.
Dude, I don't know. How do you mess that up? Because Wilson Combat was based, right? Like 10 years ago?
FUDs.
I'm talking like in the beginning, right?
Well, yeah.
Was it Gunsight? Was it Gunsight that they were with? They were with somebody, and it used to be based like way back when, but out of nowhere, the whole red dot and not having a weapon mounted light ever is not the best.
Anybody ever noticed that Masad Ayub looks strangely like Chancellor Sutton from V for Vendetta?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forget that actor's name, but you are right. They have a similar phenotype. I wonder why that is.
Oh,
Julian for $20 says, "I'm churning knuckle butter right now." I didn't want to hear that, sir.
Hell yeah, brother.
But thank you.
Ain't gonna make itself.
All right. What do you say? What do you say we get into this? A 30-minute preamble is. I think that's good to go.
I'm so excited.
All right. Here. For reference, this is Tim Kennedy in a 360-degree shoot house.
Oh, yes.
So there are going to be some wild tactics displayed and taught by the instructor. The instructor is on the left, and Tim Kennedy is on the right.
Man, we are in heaven right now.
Also, if you guys want me to pause at any point, just yell, and I'll stop the video.
Bring the audio up on that just a little.
I can, yeah.
Pleasure of coming out to see one of my old commanders, Travis Warlock, and we're at his training facility, ATAC. And the beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, can't question divine creation when you're standing.
Okay, so this is an advertisement. So it's an advertisement for this place that they're at.
Essentially, yes. Because he even mentions it later on in the video that he's only here for like a couple hours. So they literally run through the course, film a video, and then leave.
And they're old friends.
And, well, yes, they've met for the last like 13, 14 years. So.
And out here. So what is ATAC? What do you do here, and why is this different than regular firearms industry and flat ranges?
First, Tim, thanks so much for coming out, brother. Appreciate you so much. Good
right.
seeing you after
Awkward
16
hug.
years.
It's
Anyway, here's what we do.
They're going to kiss.
You know what's funny is Tim always looks like that chill guy meme. He always has his hands in his pockets. He's just like has that dumb
I'm
smile.
just a chill guy. You know that
he likes to carry grenades,
You know that car that was all rusted out in the intro?
Mm-hmm.
That was the equivalent relevance of Tim Kennedy's tactical experience that we're about to see. Just rusted old 2010 trash. That's what we're about to see right here.
Yeah, it's weird body language, isn't it? Yeah, he just leaves his hands in his pockets, and like I'm an awkward guy. That's something I might do, but Tim Kennedy's like he's a speaker. He does all sorts of things. So
Deal out here at ATAC, we've taken the firearms training industry for civilians and broken it apart and tried to prioritize what is the most important thing for civilians who don't have body armor, extra ammo, arm backup, medical backup, or qualified immunity. And that is to strip it down to what is most
Hold
important.
on, pause.
Which is, in my opinion, is
Chat. Everybody comment. Do you own body armor? Because this guy is so out of touch that's talking right now.
To be fair to him, to steelman his position, I believe he's talking about us just out in the wild. Because obviously,
he's talking about the average person. He is. You'll see later. He is trying to get in new shooters who don't have any real training.
Right, which is a problem. This is going to be a problem later on when he starts to get into some of his weird tactics type stuff. But I do think that the average person is going to be I think he's talking about, like, if you're just out and about on a random day, you're not going to have body armor. You might have a tourniquet at the most medical you carry on you, the average person, and you're going to have your gun and an extra mag, and that's basically it. So I think that's what
I'm not sure how he's framing it. I guess I missed that part. I didn't know if he was saying I'm going to work or the gym, or if he's saying whatever, right?
Well, yeah, because I don't think he's saying, because we're not carrying it for a living, right, as a civilian. Like, when I go into work for a delivery job, I have my gun on me, but I'm not wearing body armor underneath my sweatshirt. Although in some neighborhoods, maybe I should, right?
Right.
It's not to be shot versus putting all our eggs in one basket, just focusing on shooting the threat. So what we do out here is we looked at the firearms industry and what it primarily has, and that's just basically one directional ranges shooting at paper targets with hand cannons requiring hearing protection that essentially just trains you to be deaf and not incorporate what you're hearing into your decision making. Decision making is also an imperative portion of what we're doing out here, because we put live guns or cell phones and guns in our target mannequin's hands so that you have to see and make an armed judgment on the move. Now, the range out here is 360 degrees, structured for moving and shooting, and armed.
We are going to get into this later, but there is a reason why he's very awkwardly holding the pistol out at arm's length, one-handed, with a laser activated.
Sus.
Yeah, which it looks great in video games. This actually looks like one of the old Resident Evil games, I think 1 and 2, where it's the camera is fixed and then you have to walk through an environment, right?
Dude, yeah. I'm not sure what's happening.
Judgment, tactical judgment is what we are trying to push consistently, because we believe the American citizen has really two obstacles in front of them, and that's a literal threat and a legal threat. And if you don't make a correct judgment, and you shoot someone that is not armed, that has a cell phone, you might as well mortgage your house and get the best defense attorney you can find, because you're going to be running into some heavy legal actions.
Yeah. Your and Ashley's background, I had the pleasure of working with you. You had special operations nearly your whole entire career.
There it is.
Prior enlisted, then went to OTC, and then went back to special operations again.
Right. Yeah.
So you've done this your whole entire adult life.
For the most part, yeah. Absolutely.
And out here bringing out what size groups?
So we do, if we have a family, mother and father and older children, we'll do 4, but primarily we're just reducing it down to 2 people. And that is so we can have one-on-one instruction throughout the day. You got to have it on a 360 range with as many rounds as we're pushing. Yeah, absolutely. So my wife was.
I don't know if I would ever really feel comfortable walking through like a random person on a 360 range and having them swing around a gun in front of me.
Hey, you listen here, you fucking liberal.
Well, here's the thing.
You better have some land where you can make a 360-degree range. 2 things that are going to ham up the average American citizen. Whatever the fuck you said, number 1. Number 2, and them being able to run a mile in a fucking plate carrier. Those are your real hems there. This is mad fucking funny already. I need to see this shoot house.
When we get to the shoot house, it gets much more.
Go ahead.
Was in the psychological operations, enlisted, And then we met in officer candidate school as an officer, and I was in the Special Forces enlisted. And
I lost the
again, we
video
met in
focus. I don't know if you got
OCS and
video.
then went right back.
Oh, my bad. No, I'm on the wrong screen. There it is. Sorry, guys.
in
Oopsie.
special operations, where I had the pleasure of meeting Tim years later on a crazy mission in Afghanistan.
It's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, right.
Love story of two special operations.
Absolutely.
So behind us is the range, shoot house,
A barn.
trim facility.
Behind us is
Well,
the
so-
range. A barn.
Yeah, essentially. Right.
Yeah, a
So-
little bit. A little bit of a
This
burn.
is something that I had mentioned earlier to Trench before we went live, but Nick says this is exactly the kind of Pranka was talking about. This tactics training is virtually useless. These guys do this because there's no way to measure success/failure. Just learn to shoot your gun. This training is not only worthless, what we're about to see, the techniques that he's going to display are bad, are going to be detrimental for you.
First of
It's
all,
the type of stuff that'll get
It's not
you
even a
killed in the
good barn.
streets.
It's a teardown. This shit's
Dude.
fucking needs to be condemned, probably.
It's going to get shot up. That's its point, is to be shot up with 22. So
you got to realize, and single man CQB is not a thing. The minimum required amount of people is 2 people to clear a single room. To clear a building is typically a team or a squad or more. Of this, if this was, well, is it single 1 floor or 2 floor?
Single floor.
Okay, well, a single floor, you want a squad, right? And you really want a platoon. You want an inner cordon, an outer cordon, and then the actual assault team or squad, right?
So
to
how do
a-
I get a squad in my kitchen?
Well, you got to have a soup kitchen
Well,
or something.
yeah, I mean, the difference here is I think most people just need to be like aggressive and go, if there's a threat as a civilian, just engage it and leave, or just leave if
Yeah.
you can.
And that's
It's
the thing.
very simple. It's all about
There-
shooting, if you can put rounds on target or not.
There's a difference between engaging a threat when you're out somewhere or when you are trying to clear your own house of somebody who possibly had broken in the middle of the night, which is what I think this particular course is going to be more geared towards.
Right.
Is the
Yeah.
people-
M26 says violence of action. Yeah.
Yes, and although he immediately comes off by saying we want to focus on the main thing of not getting shot and the fact that we're civilians and we don't have qualified immunity. Both of those things are going to be very important once you actually start to see
Right.
the run itself. So
Also, Ivan says, how many places that you go to aren't CQB? It's not that, like, so for instance, if I go to church, right, and something happens at a church, of course it's CQB, there's buildings, there's people around, but the thing that's going to be most effective is being able to put rounds on target quickly and effectively, right? You don't need some, like, crazy high-level tactics to you do even that terrible situation. But yeah, most engagements as a civilian are going to be 1-on-1, 1-on-2 at most in a pick your environment wherever you happen to live. Yeah, and Nick says close range is not the same thing as CQB. But
Dude.
again,
Yeah,
If
You
I
want
can
to
go
look
down a
at
whole
good
rabbit hole
seek.
with
You
it.
want to look at good close range shit. Just watch horrors beyond your comprehension in Ukraine right now. I literally watched like trench clearing the other day. I watched this guy's face get shredded off by a fucking full AK-74 mag. Like it was just continual. Like that's close range. That's the most relevant shit probably right now.
well,
The
a lot of that
CQB
stuff
shit's crazy.
that stuff is nightmare fuel, because you'll see a guy in a trench, he'll be out of ammo, and then just somebody will come around a corner and just waste
You're
it.
done. Yeah,
There's
you're done.
right. It's like, congratulations, you drew the short straw. Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Wired Tight asks, why is CQB so popular? Because people train it for marketing purposes, and it looks hot on Instagram. It looks hot on YouTube. You see it in movies all the time. So it's like, oh, how do I perform like John Wick, one-man CQBing, 20 people in a warehouse or something, right?
It's cool. It's cool guy looking shit. That's really what it boils down to.
It looks cool, which is, I mean, like, it's the same thing with cloner guys for guns, right? They build out a gun that looks like somebody else's gun because it's cool. Does it actually work for them? No. Same thing. Training this looks cool, so I'm going to train this. Do you actually need this? No, right? But I'm going to go spend, a one-on-one course like this, probably $1,000. right? A one-on-one course, very expensive.
I think the course itself, I have to look it up, but I think it's $1,100.
Yeah.
I think it's actually $1,150 for this particular course that we're about to see here. Before we get into that, I know Austin mentioned guns in Ukraine. John, I sent you a link there real quick if you want to pull that up. The future of firearms in Ukraine are going to be Canadian firearms that the wonderful maple syrup people are going to be given up to Justin Trudeau so he can send them over to Ukraine.
Yep. Now, I don't know how any of this is going to work out in reality. I did see the story a couple days ago.
Wait, what?
The Liberal Party in Canada, they banned another 1,300 or what did it say, 300 more semi-automatic firearms.
325.
324, 325, whatever it is, right? There's a lot. They banned a lot of new firearms. And then they were like, hey, you know what we're going to do with all these confiscated firearms? We're going to send them all to Ukraine. So
That shows you exactly what these fucking people know about anything. That's all right. First of all, if you're Canadian, you need to move, or you need to, you know. Okay, I'm not going to make any like crazy statements, but understand that Satan is he's rimming you right now. You need to do maybe. Okay, I'm gonna
So in
withdraw that.
1775, there
So
was
yeah,
a British occupation tax. And
have you ever seen like dating app commercials, and it's like the black dude and the white chick? If you had to describe a country right now, that's Canada. And yeah, it is what it is, man. You're cooked. You need to either gain freedom by moving, or I don't know, man. Pray a little bit. The end is near.
Vintage warfare went on such a dangerous.
I had to be careful. I'm not trying to focus. I had to stop myself. I had to stop myself a little bit.
We were all watching you like, please, careful.
Sorry to derail.
If you live in Canada, you just need to partake in their healthcare system. You know, it's like any problem that you have. It's like, doc, I got a sore back. It's like, oh, have you tried euthanasia? I mean, that could solve your problem.
Yeah. Oh, you're depressed because of your service to, gay rights in Botswana. Kill yourself.
I mean, that is quite a bit cheaper. So, I mean, I get where they're coming from, right? Because their healthcare is so expensive and inefficient that it's like, you know, there are other options.
All right, we got to see Tim Kennedy in this house or whatever he's about to do.
Well, no, we saw him this week. Not this week. Not technically an ND. Well, actually, no, the worst type of ND. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
You kind of have everything that you need here at ATAC to conduct training at high levels, vehicles, obviously air everywhere.
Yes, so absolutely. So we do structure defense and working in and around and shooting in and around walls, hallways, structures, corners, as well as vehicles. We shoot from inside a vehicle out, outside of a vehicle in, from vehicle to vehicle. We shoot glass under the vehicle. We take anywhere you can utilize a firearm owned in and around a structure or a vehicle. We do that.
Nice. All right, we'll get in. We'll start training and find out way more about this approach and methodology to shooting.
Methodology.
And why it's desperately needed in 2024. Let's go.
This is what's needed in 2024, guys. That's what my paycheck told me.
Now, I don't think that any of this should be taken seriously. However, I do think it would be absolutely fun to be able to run something like this with a little suppressed 22 and a laser. I mean, that seems like the ultimate.
This seems like fun. Like if somebody said, hey, do you want to go through a house and shoot a bunch of targets with a suppressed 22 with your buddies? It's like, heck yeah, of course. That'd be awesome. But
it's not being marketed that way.
Right. It's like, but hey, this is real training. This is what you need. Also, it's $1,200. And if you don't take this, you're going to die. And I'm doing this to like complete people that can't even shoot yet. Right. Because like he talks about that he markets it to like, you know, husbands and wife couples, you know, people with older kids and stuff like that. It's like these people don't know how to shoot. They don't need to know like advanced CQB tactics. And what we're we'll get into the tactics later, but it doesn't even look good from that aspect either.
Quinn Peterson, you fed. I'm not answering that. I am reading the chat. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Could you elaborate a little more?
Can you elaborate a little bit more? Somebody thought my point was about interracial marriages being the issue. That it was a joke, man. It's read between the lines. Anyway, continue.
At 360 degrees live fire range, Travis does all of their training with suppressed 22 caliber firearms. They use the crawl, walk, run method, meaning they start slow to ensure everyone gets the motions down safely. As the trainees and attendees get more comfortable with the drill, they increase the speed and the intensity to simulate real scenarios, as we will see later in the video.
Okay, that's not how
typically
that's not how a training progression works. You do the same speed that you would do for realsies. You just go dry, blank, live, or dry, live. So for him to say you're going to crawl, walk, run, I think he's trying to say the right thing, but he's off the mark a little bit here.
Well, he's also got to deal with toddlers, right? We got to get the toddlers going because, it's a family affair.
Yeah, but that's not how they're right. We're saying back to the marketing. This is a shoothouse to defend yourself. One-man CQB, which is bullshit in and of itself, right? You can't do one-man CQB. If you do, it's a good way to get shot in the face by people knocking on your door saying sheriff's department that are not the sheriff's department that are going to kick down your door with 3 of their buddies and, shoot you in the face, right? So them saying they're going to do a shoothouse and then doing a crawl, walk, run, well, that's not how you do it. You do a run, just dry, blank, live or dry, live.
I'm fine with him taking a beginner's level approach to it. But again, this is just such worthless training for somebody that can't even shoot yet. Right. And we're going to get into his shooting techniques here in a second that are hood certified.
Most firearms training, instructors will line you up in front of an arm paper.
And yes, as somebody mentioned, they are both using
FNs.
Yes, and 22s
for targets such as that. And they're going to start working you from the foundation up. And that if we have a target with their finger on the trigger pointing at us, why would I want to stand upright and motionless and mirror the very target that all Americans train against, upright and motionless, pointing a gun back at them?
Oh, no.
And does this not replicate the insanity of a 19th century duel between 2 idiots pointing guns at each other?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, why would we do that?
Yeah, not at all.
It's not even remotely close.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of back in the day when they used to teach dudes to sidestep, to point their plate at the target and sidestep like 1 foot to the next, like a lateral step.
Yeah.
That's what in 2013 when I joined, that was what we used to. That's what the people taught you. You know what I mean? To sidestep. That way your plate is presented to the target. That is the equivalent of what this guy is saying in 2024.
You are very close because he is just about to make that argument.
Oh my God! I knew it.
But this is how military and police train. And the reason military and police train like this because we have body armor. So it's always opened at the side. So I want to take the plate, face the threat. Now I've already ripped my name off and stuck it on the wall and grabbed a number, which means.
Now M26 says if you can find cover, why not? Well, yeah, of course. I wouldn't just stand there and like do my draw and like, all right, point, bang, bang, bang. There's safer ways to do it. But yeah, it's the idea that we're now gonna start running sideways while pointing at people to reduce our hitbox, I guess, is the point of that.
Yeah, at 7 feet, everyone's a USPSA champion.
Yeah.
Everyone's a grandmaster at 7 feet. Like everyone wins or loses.
I'm moving to the sound of gunfire. I'm willing to make this sacrifice. But as a civilian, no body armor, not a lot of ammo. There's no armed backup coming. I don't have any medical backup to do on call or pre-planned. And I don't have qualified immunity in case I miss this guy and hit Granny in the background.
See, that is why you shouldn't miss. That is why you should practice to a very high standard.
He said, get good.
Yeah, essentially. It's like, well, get good, and then everything else kind of doesn't matter as much, right?
Where's the bunny hopping tutorial in this fucking...
So he's saying be accountable for your rounds, yet we're gonna do a crawl, walk, run because we don't trust our people. This is great, dude.
Yeah.
So doing this is just risk adverse. Very much not risk adverse, but accepting risk, seeking it. So, and this is where we say, wouldn't this be suicidal to teach somebody to draw against a target that's pointing a gun at them? So if we don't want to move toward the threat or directly away from it because it's just counterintuitive to do that, and it leaves us side to side, then first thing we do is work on moving marksmanship. And it basically looks like this, is that there's my direction of movement. And what I do is I start to introduce my third truth and just want you to consider it, right? And this is all one-handed operation.
What? Hold on. What is the third truth?
We haven't even gotten the first two yet.
I'm speaking my truth. You listen.
What is happening, dude?
When I speak, you listen.
It's just about to
post
get good.
Truth in chat. Everybody post the third.
I'm sorry,
truth.
man. I wasn't expecting that shit.
My third truth. Like,
Oh,
Well, I feel like the editor, like, he was going through all this footage, right? And the guy said his first and second truth, and the editor was like, "Nah, that's retarded. Let's just stick with the third one."
oh
Right,
my
'cause
God.
You hear the other two.
like even the editor was like, "Dude, this is so gay."
Dude, I'm about to break out the whiskey with that one. Hold on. Here we go.
Oh,
I got the
man.
whiskey on standby. Here we go.
I'm sorry. That made me laugh harder than I probably should have. But Jesus Christ, that was
Maybe he's
unexpected.
Maybe he's
No,
playing
just-
4D
just-
chess,
Oh.
and he
Just-
didn't
yeah.
actually say the first or second, and he's just messing with people.
Dude,
I guess.
he
Yeah.
literally goes, and this is my third truth. Like,
This
what
is
are
my
you
third
talking
truth. It reads like a TikTok chicks page, like
about?
like a fuck. You ever seen like I don't know if you I'm pretty sure all of us have women in our lives. You know, you're watch TikTok, and it's like the content they watch, and it's like you'll hear shit like that all the time. This is my first and second and third truth. It's like a paragraph. They flip their hair, and that's
Yeah.
it. That's the content. Oh man.
I'm afraid of the first two, says Lucky Pickle. Yeah.
Dude.
He ate the first and second.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
should have been the intro.
I
man.
should have edited this into the intro. That would
That should have been the intro. And this
All right,
is,
let's
Yeah.
listen. Let's listen to him again. Maybe we missed something.
okay, go
Yeah,
back.
run it
Go
back.
back.
want you to consider it, right? And this is all one-handed operation. In that if I have the gun in the hand between myself
Oh, did I miss it? Let me go back in.
to introduce my third truth and just wanted you to consider it, right? And this is all one-handed operation. In that if I have the gun in the hand between myself and my threat, it allows me to use this crazy rotator cuff, which can go all the way over here or all the way back to the coffee cup in my upper.
Yeah, that's how an arm works, sir.
What? He's talking
This
about
crazy rotator cuff. Whatever the fuck they call it. Damn.
and lower torso stay aligned as they're supposed to athletically, because I can move, reduce my profile, and we're trained to trip going forward to catch ourselves, but not crab walking or sideways. So I put the gun in the hand between myself and the threat, look at where I'm going to go, and this is all on lasers
Oh
at
no.
close range. So I take a step, consider where the gun is, look, pull the trigger, hit the target. Take a step, consider where the laser is, and I'm building muscle memory as every time the laser's on the target.
I'm pretty sure
See?
this just gave Travis Haley cancer.
Did,
Listening to him talk about
did
this.
he just advocate for basically doing a negligent discharge? Or is he saying he's not going to look where the gun is pointed?
No, I think he's talking about like Chicago warfare. That's
Well,
what
so-
I'm seeing right now.
He's
Both
aware
of the same
of
thing.
where he's going, and he's using a laser. So then when he steps, he looks and shoots so that everything's like balanced. But the whole thing is it's just nonsense. It's
I
just
line up the shot, and then I take a step and shoot.
If at any point as an adult you're talking about using a Viz laser for anything other than trying to lollipop your IR laser to your Viz for a quicker zero with your IR laser, if you're ever talking about a Viz laser for anything other than that, you've lost the plot, dude. This is why I drink.
Chicago warfare. That is a good one. All right, let him speak.
That muscle memory turns into a neural pathway, which says wrist, elbow, shoulder, lower back. Ah, that's right where
That's right.
Boom.
That's good
I
clip.
don't know.
I think
don't-
this guy's getting. I think this video is getting a video on my main channel at this point.
It's really good. It's
Dude.
really
I'm
Run
crying.
this back. We got to see this all in one smooth.
Yeah, from the third. We'll all be quiet. Do it from the
He just-
third truth.
Oh, you wanna-
I'll mute. I'll mute.
Here, everybody be quiet. Do it from
I'll
the
mute.
third truth.
Yeah. I think that was like 20 seconds ago.
Did operation. And that if I have the, I want you to consider it, right? I start to introduce my third truth and just want you to consider it, right? And this is all one-handed operation. And that if I have the gun in the hand between myself and my threat, it allows me to use this crazy rotator cuff, which can go all the way over here or all the way back to the coffee cup, and my upper and lower torso stay aligned as they're supposed to athletically, because I can move, reduce my profile, and we're trained to trip going forward to catch ourselves, but not crab walking or sideways. So I put the gun in the hand between myself and the threat, look at where I'm going to go, and this is all on lasers at close range. So I take a step, consider where the gun is, look, pull the trigger, hit the target. Take a step, consider where the laser is, and I'm building muscle memory as every time the laser's on the target, that muscle memory turns into a neural pathway, which says wrist, elbow, shoulder, lower back. That's right what right looks like. Now, we also do level gun out here, which means I don't tip the gun down or up. Just like taking your finger off the trigger, it creates.
As soon as he does that, he points the gun at the ground.
Did he flag himself too? Like, what just happened?
There are some crazy swings inside of this shoot house by both him and Tim Kennedy that are just like, if I was the instructor in there, I would not feel comfortable.
It looked like he flagged
Fuck
his
the
foot for no
instructor.
reason.
There's a cameraman, dude.
Oh, there is also a cameraman in here as well. Yes.
Lamin
I
Land's
know
brother.
cameraman never
Cameraman
never
the title of
dies,
that
but-
video.
John Miller says he took this out of Equilibrium. That is what it reminds me of. Yes, the gun kata in that is hilarious.
Bro, he literally took a step, fired around, took another step, fired around, and it was like, all right, we got to be moving quick so they don't get a good target acquisition on us. So I'm guessing
Hey,
in a little bit he's going to
that's,
sprint across the hallway.
Yeah, they're both going to do it. So let's let it play out.
That's
An
the
extra
walking
step.
fire doctrine that he learned about back in World War One.
Yeah, exactly.
So we use
That's
level
not
gun,
what
which
walking
means pull
fire
the gun
doctrine
back,
is.
come out from behind the cover, and I start shooting and moving as I go. So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and lock and load your first 10-round magazine. And here's what we're going to do is just move from right to left. Left hand. Good. Nice work. Good well done. Nice. Beautiful.
So yes, he is transitioning hands around each corner. So he's going from right hand to left hand to right hand to left hand, like a Jason Segel movie.
He must have taken some tips from GBRS. We're going to switch shoulders because that's definitely relevant.
Dude,
Well,
the fact that he. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
No, the fact he was trying to liken this to walking fire doctrine from like World War One is like none of this looks like any of that. That's in reference to like submachine guns and crossing open terrain. It has nothing to do with any of this silly shit. And even then, it's so out of date. Like the fact he'd even bring it up is insane.
Oh no, that was me. That was me, dude.
Oh well, okay. I was confused.
I was making
He said that in the video. Or am I?
He did
am I-
say walking fire, but I said walking fire doctrine from World War One.
Oh, okay. I'm retarded. Never mind. Go on. I thought that was him who said World War One, and you said it at the same time.
No. Yeah, it sounded like it came from the video, but it was just Richard.
Okay.
Perfect timing on my
Nice
part
work.
then.
Good transitions. Excellent. Beautiful.
Why is he switching hands?
Well, I don't get what the point of this is for. Are you like pretending to engage like 4 targets in these bays? And like they're so close that I mean you could just engage, move much faster than this one-handed nonsense. I don't get the point of one-handed shooting this at all.
Well, we learned the other night that he can't engage, move. He has to shoot while walking.
That is true. Yeah, we watched his other video the other night, 2 days ago, where he loses a shooting competition to a CrossFit guy. So, the damage. Jeremy says someone's getting sued for giving me cancer. I'm sorry.
Fantastic. Good.
That's fun.
You like that?
Yeah.
You like that?
No, I'm taking a.
Like, no, we don't like that.
Dude, we will go over the comments on this video because the comments are good.
Oh, dude.
It's always gold.
Every
Now-
single person just I don't know if I found one positive comment on that video.
I do agree
on
that
Tim
this.
Kennedy's channel.
I do agree that this is probably very fun to do, but zero practicality whatsoever, and that's what bothers me. Like it looks like it would be a wonderful time to go and do, just hang out with the boys, shoot some suppressed 22s, and just turn it into an absolute carnival, basically, right? Set up some balloons and shit, pop some golf balls, have some real fun with it. But no, they're treating this as a real life or death training exercise, and it's just
Right, and that's the weird thing because it's like this situation is like how to defend against 10 people attacking you. I mean, like if this is for like the average civilian person, like this does seem completely like worthless.
No,
it has an
I
identity
disagree.
crisis.
This is when your insurance claim gets denied and you're downtown and you see a CEO. So you're just going to rack, bang. You guys just don't get it, dude. You guys just don't see the pedigree.
That's actually very good. Yeah.
The pedigree is there. You guys are just not based enough to know that their CEO is all over the place.
I don't know. It just looks fun to me, but it doesn't seem very practical.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Austin, would you spend $1,200 on this?
No, that's incredibly yay.
Agreed.
Crash course, but usually Travis spends a good deal of time with individuals.
Sorry, there was like 1 second there where Tim had a funny look on his face.
No, I'm taking a crash course, but usually Travis spends a good deal of time with individuals running through different drills and teaching them the basics of movements with a firearm. Before moving to the next section, which would be the 360 environment, where things are much faster. And you have to make
holy
quick
flagging.
decisions. Now this 300.
It has a suppressor on it. I touch my suppressors all the time.
No, I thought Tim was out there.
Oh, no. Tim was still inside the building.
Okay.
As far as I know, he was still inside the
For
building.
some reason, I thought he was just flagging Tim, like doing something like this. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Well, they're cutting it up in ways that probably like makes it look that way. I can't tell whether or not it's I couldn't tell whether or not that was like him being actually flagged or flagging somebody.
You know what's
Well,
actually
shots are
impressive?
We got to get you a screen, Vintage, because you do all these on your phones. You just like put your face right up to the screen. There you go.
You know what's impressive is there's no malfunctions with the 22. So all the 22 ammo is actually cycling. Well, that is actually impressive. That's good training.
Or the failures were added out.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
60 range is truly the gem of the training facility. Think of it like a square building cut into 9 equal squares where he has the ability to lift walls directly into the ceiling and change the doors, the windows, the entry points from a corner fed to a center fed to a T intersection. He'd literally change up the structure and flow of it in any type of scenario he wants. He can even open it up and put vehicles into the building to simulate roads and shops. It's just a fantastic training look.
So why do they do all of the training with lasers? Nobody actually shoots like that. I don't get that aspect of it. Why wouldn't you just shoot the gun how you're going to shoot the gun?
Also, the probability of having a ricochet is so high.
Delta 34 says Alec Baldwin trains here and he has 1 confirmed kill. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, shooting those vehicles in like you could have a ricochet. You know what I mean? Shooting any vehicle that close. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a 22, but still.
I do think the things going into the ceiling is kind of neat, to be honest.
It is. The idea of a 360 shoot house is cool, but I don't get the purpose of like the 22s, the lasers. If it doesn't simulate like how you're actually going to be using your gun, like it's kind of pointless.
So the walls are probably only rated for 22 because
well, I'm sure it's still punching through the walls, but so you have to replace the plywood, but I'm sure it's designed to, those areas can just be removed, and then you just replace the plywood every 3, 4, 6 months, whatever it happens to be, right?
Right. So like our shoe houses will be like the exterior will be concrete, and then it'll be like rubber, and then concrete, rubber, and then some sort of drywall, you know what I mean, to simulate for the Army. So that way it's the inside looks like a shootout or a house, but obviously it catches everything up to 5.56 M855 Alpha 1, right? So.
Somebody made a good point. I mean, why at that point, why aren't you just using airsoft or simunition?
Simunitions.
Yeah, blue guns. Use blue guns, dude.
Because 22
Yeah,
is
so
sweet.
the suppressed 22 is like cool, I guess, but I mean, yeah, I think that there is just more efficient ways to actually like get training out of this, because the
safer too.
I'm not. Is simunitions? Do they bounce and ricochet off of cars?
Yeah.
Oh, not simunition like 22 compared to simunition.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's probably cheaper too.
Yeah, 22
Maybe,
is
yeah,
much
probably.
cheaper.
Yeah, D34. If you ever want to come on, you just got to let me know. I'll get you on. Talk about.
I told him to send me an email. I was going to get him on the guest list. We had people in the Discord asking for him.
So, what is it? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But simunition, blue guns. I'm drawing a blank. But the blue bolts and the blue gun, the simunition the ammunition itself is super expensive compared to 22. So I can see where that could be a problem. Also, with simunition with the blue guns, they get stuck in the barrel a lot. So
Plastic guy says blue guns are usually an exercise in malfunction clearing. Yeah.
I mean, they work good for a little bit, but what we've noticed is if you don't, you will get rounds stuck in the actual barrel and they'll stack up. And then if you don't clear and shotgun the gun properly, you could risk blowing your gun up once you go back to live. So simunition is a huge liability. I can see if he has to cover all this under insurance or something, how 22 would actually be better than simunition. In some cases, if they're going from, simunition to live in any sort of place on their compound, right?
Well, and I guess you can get 22 versions or conversion kits of most of your favorite firearms, so you can still use your standard firearms, standard style mags, and whatnot, and get reps in that way too. So,
Location. All right, brother, here we go.
All right, when you're doing single person CQB, the idea of a singleton room clearing, this is way different than team CQB. So your priorities of work are going to be different than having a stack of dudes behind you where I can look left, he can look right, and the opposing person is going to be taking down opposing threats simultaneously. Because of this reshuffle.
See, again, I still just don't get the
laser.
Oh, the one-handed, he's left-handed shooting. He's shooting with his offhand with a laser.
Yeah, I don't get the laser. I wonder if the laser is something for like safety or something where they, only shoot where your laser goes, or I don't know. I'm thinking like super FUD mode right now, like RSO FUD here.
Of the priorities of works, and because of the lack of support and coordinated taking down of targets simultaneously, you have to do things differently. So, there's a sharp learning curve here. What we're trying to do is teach somebody to process information faster and to be able to prioritize their threats.
There was a hand switch in there.
Yes, he shot a dude and then switched hands in the fatal funnel. So he enters the fatal funnel, shoots a dude with the left hand, and switches to the right. That is,
and he could have just cleared that guy with the right hand from the doorway.
Yeah, and you can't tell me you're that proficient with your non-firing hand to be able to reload with your non-dominant hand. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, everyone can reload their Glock 19 with their non-dominant, but how efficient are you going to be loading with your left hand all the time if you're right-handed?
Says that, yeah, he's like halfway in the room, super focused on one target, and then he turns to the left like 5 seconds later. So I'm not sure.
Need to process information faster.
That might actually be close to 5 seconds that he's standing there in view,
and to be able to prioritize their threats as to what's.
So I just don't get the point of this. If you're not going to be like aggressive and actually utilize like the training, like what is the point of making this video?
Why doesn't he have both hands on the gun? Do you know how bad people are with one hand?
I mean, See, that's the thing where it's like, well, it's a suppressed 22, so you don't need both hands on the gun. But in reality, you're not going to have a suppressed 22. You're going to be shooting a 9mm, and you're going to want to be fast, and you're going to want aggressive, and you're going to want to put those shots exactly where you want them, so you don't have a bullet go in a random place, let's say, which might just happen in a minute.
Closer, who can effectively hurt me first, and how and why I'm going to address.
Okay, and that transition right there, the amount of time that it took from him to go bang, 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 and then like the slowest transition ever. Like,
yeah, just I muted it, but yeah, he's 5-6 feet in the room already. Just engages one, standing there, turns to engage the other one in the slowest manner possible.
The third rule, all right? The third rule.
No, the third truth.
Third truth. The third truth, goddammit.
Yeah, this whole thing just sketches me out a little bit.
Well, to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how a 3D gun in a hand is so hard to see at close range. And this is what we like to tell people is that, man, paper targets is what we call paper target pandemonium, man. It is going to cause you to fail because you think you're used to seeing a gun on paper two-dimensional, and it always looks the same no matter where you're at. But to train to register to a firearm in a hand, it's a different ball of wax. Yeah. Now let me start putting black guns and black gloves with black cell phones, and we need a gun light in daylight to see it.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Oh my God.
Nice work.
That transition around his face is a little.
Yeah. So for people that have never worked together,
nice
this is getting sketchy.
Look
You
at
got
the
to
top
think.
corner.
So with an infantry platoon, you'll have the guys out there. If you're going to go do a raid, or let's say a raid, right? You'll have your security squad and assault squad out there doing what's called glass houses. So you'll have like white tape on the ground or around trees, and you'll be doing what's called a glass house drill all day, like all day long, practicing with your teammates in and around teammates, different order of the stack to avoid any sort of weird confusion. So to have this old dude just following Tim Kennedy as he's waving this pistol all willy-nilly.
You're missing it, Trench. You're missing the very important thing. Look above the mannequin.
What is above the mannequin? I can't see.
There's a dude standing there.
Well, so there is a second level in the middle.
Wait, holy shit! Those are
those are legs,
dude,
bro.
right there.
There's a whole crew of people up there. There's 4 or 5 people up on that rail.
If you notice, at sometimes Tim does have his gun pointed upwards inside the shoot house.
Oh my God!
There are people on the second level. So anytime you see the muzzle go up, you should be like, there should be warning signs going off.
So we talked about this off camera. Now that I think about this, focus. So in an army shoot house, you will have a red line, like a massive red line, like a no shoot above or no index above this line. It's a no shoot line. So you will specifically brief if there's going to be people on a catwalk above you as you're clearing the building. Those people will be briefed one of two things. Either the people on the catwalk can only be in certain segments to evaluate you at certain points, or the assault squad will at no point ever go to the high ready, right? Or to the ready position. So whatever you call it, right? The high port, the high ready, every branch calls it something different. But whenever you have the gun, the compressed ready, right? Whenever you have the gun pointing to the sky, you will specifically brief, okay, for shoot house purposes, we're just going to compress the gun around teammates. And as the teammate in front of you gets out of the way, you're going to bring the gun up as you come into the fatal funnel. And even for reloads, and now I'm going to go on a tangent for a second, even for reloads, even the lowest ranking private, E1 in the Army knows even to reload, if there's people on the catwalk, you can't old mag out, new mag in, because now obviously you're flagging anyone on the catwalk, right? So that comes down to either, if you're going to have individuals on the catwalk, one, you have to have a red no shoot line for rangeisms, right? So that way in your brain, as you're coming up to the red line, okay, yeah, oh yeah, I'm in a shoot house, I'm training, don't go above the red line. So
there was somebody basically sitting on the shoulders of old Babushka there.
Yeah, that's a problem. So you have to label it for whatever, a no shoot, right? But if you're going to have people on the catwalk, they need to be on the friendly wall. So if you're going to clear like a a corner fed room. So like an L shape, if you're going to enter at a corner, you have to have all friendlies to your friendly side. So as you go in, as guns come down in the fatal funnel, right, your weapon isn't naturally going to flag anybody. And same thing with like a malfunction clearing, right? Tap rack or a remedial. Like, you can't have anybody in the freaking, you can't have anyone on the freaking catwalk, dude. That's wild.
I hope they're wearing body armor.
I hope they're wearing dick
And I
armor.
usually get them.
Body
Without-
armor doesn't cover the shins.
After a few rooms, you know, I'm kind of getting the hang of how Travis wants me to be opening doors, how I'm going to take down opposing threats, you know, the flow of the building. You know, as we work through it clockwise, when we go back through it counterclockwise, there's a lot of things that you're trying to process and trying to positively identify who has weapons, who has cell phones, but it is just a ton of fun. Being able to train in an environment like this, that it's so conducive. Like, you're not wearing these big, huge earmuffs. Like, everything is safe, and it just makes it.
So again, there's another person right up here in the top right corner. It's hard to see, but they are
That's
definitely
stupid,
there.
man. That's wild. And he's supposed to be, so he is a senior NCO. And he is special forces. So he literally has done shoot houses thousands of times, right? So he should know everyone, I would say, every PFC and above, E3, you know, a year in the Army, infantryman knows, oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't be on the catwalk if there's a live fire going on, you know, or hey, we're never going to index high, right? Never going
Right. to. I don't know if they had some sort of safety brief, but do you think Tim, like, I don't think Tim believes any of this stuff as he's walking around one-handed shooting with lasers and lights. I mean, he's got to be like, this is just nonsense, guys.
Yeah, and it's the same thing we talked about to open up this whole video. You don't judge people based on you judge people based on what they've done for you today or how they act today. If me and you are cool forever and today you're an asshole to me, I'm just gonna be like, hey man, you're an asshole. So Tim Kennedy, whatever, thank you for your service, dude. Like, you've done a lot of good stuff, I'm sure, allegedly. But if you're being an asshole today and saying stupid stuff with a Viz laser 22 pistol and flagging people actively in a wood shoot house in a barn, you're an asshole. I don't know.
I mean, Multicam says, yeah, the Heisenberg dummy in the shoot house is should have given him the gun.
It gets even better from here. This is.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet, where they throw in like all sorts of crazy environmental hazards.
Let's go. I want to see it.
Environment. Even in this half light, it was difficult to see who has a firearm and who doesn't.
So I come to my next door. It's a pull door. I don't want to be caught naked here as I'm checking the condition of my gun in case somebody opens it. So we just offer this suggestion: a simple foot trap at the bottom of the door. Somebody barreling through it ain't going to stop, but a casual or maybe a little more aggressive, it's going to give you that chance to move out of the way. My right shoulder's against the wall. I use my right foot. If I use my left, I trap the gun against the wall. Somebody comes in behind me, I can swing and hit them. So I check the condition of my gun.
I watched that again.
Behind me,
Poor
I can
cameraman.
swing and hit them. I trap the gun against the wall.
God.
That is a
Somebody comes in behind me, I can swing.
Oh,
Wait, okay.
that is a weird swing. I just don't like it all that much. I just don't like. GB Gun says, I know camera angles can make things look off, but it sure looks like he keeps flagging his foot.
I mean,
There's some of that's probably true to be real, but that's just that's insane. I never in my life when doing like shoot houses or anything have I ever been taught to do that kind of retard shit. Compress the weapon against the door in case a guy runs next to you and you get him. Like, I don't know. Fucking, that's insane to me. And then he looked like he flagged the guy there.
So it all seems to be appealing to somebody who doesn't know anything and hasn't really shot guns much, right? Because any competent shooter, if you tell them, okay, now we're going to shoot one hand offhand with light and laser, you'd be like, why? Why would I ever do that? You know?
this is the equivalent of like somebody just thought it up one day.
One hand, offhand with light, laser, and suppressor. But we're focusing on the civilian aspect of training.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is semi-automatic.
It feels like some kind of weird amalgamation of like what maybe special forces training was back in the day a little bit with lasers and stuff. With that, it mixed with this like modern hype. Like I don't know how old this video is.
It's 3 weeks ago.
I trapped the.
All right, this came out this year. However, the gentleman on the right,
Oh,
who's
wow.
the speaker, him and Tim met each other like 16 years ago. So this would have been like 2008, 2009 timeframe when the older gentleman got out. So it is actually possible that these are just, tactics from 2 decades ago that he's just regurgitated and evolved into his own training course. And
it really does feel like some kind of 80s, 90s type of, tactics mixed with some. How do I make what I learned modern? How do I reinvent the wheel but make it gayer? Like that's kind of what this is coming off to me right now. But that's just my opinion.
You can see that the wood in the shoot house there, a lot of it is exposed to the outdoor elements, and almost all of it is still shiny new. It doesn't have hardly any patina on it whatsoever. Now, could it all be sealed very well? Probably. Sure. Are they having that many people come through that they have to replace the boards that often? I don't see that happening. I think this is a new venture for this gentleman. And I think he most likely, possibly, allegedly may have hired Tim, old buddy Tim, to come out and do a run through and try and give him a positive business launch. I'm not sure. I have no evidence to support this. This is just my wild theory. But I seen somebody in chat. I'd pay $50 to do this. I would too. I'd pay $100 to go and do this. I wouldn't pay.
If I needed to pay $100 to this training, somebody just said it perfectly. This is the kind of training that's needed to eliminate people that live on dirt floors. This isn't. I don't know. I fail to see how this is like geared towards civilians. It's a little. It's over the top silly. I don't know.
It gets even worse. It gets even worse.
Let's stop pausing. Let's watch it through so I can.
Well,
actually...
we have to.
We
have to cut it a little.
Somebody comes in behind me, I can swing and hit them. So I check the condition of my gun, move my foot back, arm back. There's corner 1, follow me through. Corner 2, corner 3. They're holding the laser on. Bang, bang, bang. Here's my next door. Right foot trap. Check the condition of my gun. If I'm good to go, pull out. The reason I pull the door handles up high is to prevent that. And it's just a safety mechanism. Corner 1, corner 2, corner 3. There's my bad guy. Hold the laser in that circle using all available real estate.
That was not a 45-degree offset.
Nope. Not even close.
That
circle.
That is not a 45-degree
all available real estate to get around.
Of course, once I start getting the hang of it, in the sterile kind of CQB layout, Travis ups the difficulty once by taking me.
See, now you actually have to clear the trap house
to a different and much more difficult building.
And we all know that
everything
people
is decorated.
Play cards in the middle of the dark with no lighting in a completely smoke-filled room.
This looks like some e-girl's room that's hotboxed with the red
This
light.
looks like a fucking fever dream. What in the fuck am I looking at?
It's about to get wild.
This is what it's like to hang out with X-Ray Alpha.
Hell yeah, baby.
Like real rooms,
pedigree all
real
the way.
scenarios,
I'm going to get another
furniture,
drink.
paintings, and lights. The audio supports kind of what is happening in each of these scenarios. It's way more complex. There's smoke and sounds. It's a ton of fun.
Ooh, that smoke is tough.
Travis does an incredible job here trying to overwhelm.
Dude, this looks like a freaking like horror movie where there's like one mannequin that's real and you're like going through this house or something.
Did Rob Zombie also help build this fucking shit?
Yeah, exactly.
It definitely looks like a haunted house combined with a shoot house. It's like this. He definitely takes a break from October 1st to November 1st and sets it up.
It's like he's taking mannequins from his house. He's repurposing them. He's buying them for Halloween every year. Damn.
Yeah.
The scene from CP. Yeah, exactly.
John, if we could run it back to the beginning here of this one, and we'll run it through, because I do want to try and clip this as one cohesive clip.
Final level of Condemned, Criminal Origins. Yeah. Must have ray tracing on. Yeah, the graphics do look great. Okay, we'll let the shoot house play out, because the shoot house is the best part.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, wrong button.
More difficult building where everything is decorated. It's to simulate real rooms with real scenarios, with furniture, paintings, and lights. The audio supports kind of what is happening in each of these scenarios. It's way more complex. There's smoke and sounds. It's a ton of fun.
Ooh, that smoke is tough.
Travis does an incredible job here trying to overwhelm the attendees, the trainees, with all of their senses. It's just difficult when it's loud, when there's different smells, different sights, when you have opposing threats. Does this person have a gun? Do they have a gun? Do they have a cell phone? Do they have a camera? And the tunnel vision gets real. Like sensory overload starts happening when there's too much information to process from too many senses.
1, 2, 3.
You know, this definitely hurts. So that's a police officer.
So that is why I put the cop mannequin in the thumbnail, is because Tim bursts through the door, smokes the cop, and continues on. Oh, that was amazing.
If there was ever any such value ever, it is so far gone. At some points, he goes into the room. He's aiming at the mannequin for like 15 seconds, and he's like, "Oh, it's a gun!" Bang.
Yeah, every other one he took
Look
his
at
sweet
this.
time
Look at
on.
this. Do we have a
Every
time this one? Time this one.
When
So
there's
he's in the
too much
room. He's in the
information
room.
process from too many senses.
Oh my God, it's a gun.
2, 3.
That's the sound I make when I accidentally shoot the wrong person. Ah, darn it.
It's the fucking sound I make when I take a shit. So,
does USCCA cover this? I gotta know.
When you're dealing with this many people in a building with guns, and you're a civilian, I need to know who you pissed off, for one. 2, maybe you deal with this with an artillery shell. Otherwise, I don't like this. This is so silly.
That's where you're wrong. He's trying to find his pedigree in that building. He knows if he clears that building, he gets maximum pedigree.
Yeah, well,
He's still got one more room to clear.
if he's trying to market this, either he does the high speed like I'm Tim Kennedy thing, and he like fucking he should have just like not said anything about the cop. Pop pop went into the room. Great marketing. Nobody would have known. But him taking his time and all, it's just it's just so fucking gay. Anyway, continue.
He took so much time on everybody else, and then as soon as he sees the cop,
Sees the cop based on what? Reddit?
Yeah, maybe actually it's his crack house, and so he just went into like protection.
He's defending his meth lab.
Chicago
him
warfare at its finest.
Chicago warfare. Yeah.
All right, here we go. One more time.
3.
Right in the heart,
This definitely
too.
hurts. So that's a police officer. Yeah, clearly wearing a uniform. He's got the hat. He's got the badge. He's got the jacket. But the first thing I saw was a firearm. So I saw him with a gun, put one round center mass. Like this is the point of doing training in tough environments with lots of sensory overload. It just puts you under pressure to hopefully make bad decisions. And you want to make bad decisions while you're training. Having been the first time into this, it was absolutely perfect, and ultimately made a catastrophic mistake shooting somebody else responding to the scenario, a dude in blue.
I think
So
the
just
person who
got
made a
done
mistake was the guy who walked into that room right after he just shot a cop, and then showed up in his blind spot in that corner when he turned his back. That could have ended real bad.
I mean, I don't think Tim is actually going to shoot a person moving around in there. I don't think he's like, you get into that meme where it's like PTSD kicks in and you think you're back in Afghanistan, wherever, and you just start like going crazy or whatnot with the smoke and the lights and the sounds and whatnot. But no, I don't think he was actually going to shoot that.
He's practicing killing the ANA that were a problem for him. Maybe, I don't know, those Afghani National Army guys.
So what's the crime? What's the real crime? Is the crime that Tim Kennedy did this? Is the crime that they even made this at all? Or is the crime that four adults, males, are watching this right now on a Saturday night, drinking our whiskey and laughing at this dude and his Viz laser?
Well, we're not the only ones who did this. Several other channels also had some issues with this, and we'll get to the comments here in a minute. But I think the issue is, one, how it was marketed, and two, the price.
Well, and you said the price was $1,200, right? $1,200.
It's $1,100. I think it's $1,150.
Yeah,
I'm signing up tonight. If someone can give me a link.
Yeah, hold on, I'll check it.
Truth number 4, Tim's off the team. Yeah, I think the problem with it is like it's just bad on every level. It's marketing, like obviously it's marketing. What's actually in the video is really bad, and then on top of it, it's Tim Kennedy, who has a habit of lying about everything, and so it's just everything comes together to make like the world's worst CQB video, right? And that's what makes it hilarious.
Guys, what if we split up the cost between it's fucking no. So all 4 of us go.
No, they have multiple person options, but it's going to cost $2,500 for all 4 of us to go.
Expensive.
Oh, well, it sounds like we should all split the cost and go wreck this fucking course.
Wait, hold on. I'm only going to go if you shoot the cop and mowing like Tim Kennedy did.
I'm bringing this SKS if I can.
Oh,
I'm bringing a Mauser.
No.
Honestly, a bayonet might have been more effective in there.
Probably.
Yeah. Listen, you get the cheapest white light, you tape it to the SKS, extend the bayonet, and just start freaking bayoneting everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Nicky Dicky says if this was sponsored by SDI, it would hit the trifecta.
Exactly. Sonoran Desert Institute.
No, it's better. It's sponsored by FM.
Bill?
Oh, I'm sorry. For 4 of us to go, it would be $3,300. I'm sorry.
So what is that between 4 of us? I'm dumb. I'm not educated like some of you. What is that between 4 people?
$625. $650.
Come on, we can do that. Let's go.
We gotta. That's plane tickets. That's time off, doing other things. I mean, although it would make killer content.
It would make absolutely great content.
I sent you the link in the private chat if you want to pull it up and see.
I'm gonna send him an email.
Imagine me I take leave from work to fly there and use their 22 pistol, and it's just
no.
Do a GoFundMe. Yeah. Hey.
They have the red dot.
Oh no!
They have the airsoft laser.
Hell yeah! Well, I mean, to be fair, that's probably the only time those are acceptable is on 22s or airsoft guns. So, they got to get those sponsor shout outs somehow.
I don't know who this old lady is, and I'm glad that she's out. Probably not what I would use for my marketing material. An old lady in a mask, dual wielding,
with 3 chins.
Well. Yeah, and holding on to the light as a foregrip on your pistol, probably not what I would do.
I mean, she's an old woman. What do you want? What do you want from her?
Whoa! What happened there? What is going on?
Hell yeah, Hoffs. Hey, that's my wife. You better fucking watch her now.
Hey, liberal.
Listen here, liberal. That woman can handle some iron.
So you stay in the cabin. For 2 of us, it would be $1,650.
What is in this cabin? Where is this cabin?
Hopefully lots of alcohol.
The cabin is in the Appalachian Mountains. It is in let me see exactly where at. I thought it was West Virginia, but I could be wrong. Give me 1 second.
Well, see, this is another element of it that I really don't like.
What is
It's
going on there?
these young women that are being taught how to shoot like this for some reason, and it's like, can you just teach them how to actually shoot, please?
This
So it
That-
keeps going on down. There's more than just home defense 1. There's home defense 1, home defense 2, urban defense, public defense, vehicle
Public
defense.
defense.
Yeah, public defense is what you're
the
going to need
fuck
after you
is
shoot the
that?
cop because you're broke.
Yeah.
Vehicle defense, practical precision, practical exercise. It goes on and on. They provide a lot of different supposed courses. It is in Tennessee, Shady Valley, Tennessee. Very shady.
vehicle CQB is
Why are
the
you
biggest.
why are you going into the school bus to shoot people?
That
Hey,
is
look,
the
man. Hey,
only
they were
place
talking
you
some
can
shit.
shoot people.
They needed to go.
Trying to relive your high school days.
Yeah. You ever been bullied?
Dude, vehicle CQB is the single biggest sham, like gimmick in the 2A community. Every time I see someone beep appendix carry, okay, they're carrying appendix. They draw the gun, they shoot through the windshield, they shoot through every window in the car, they crawl out one of the windows, they run to the trunk and grab a random carbine that's in the trunk. It's like, dude, you would have been dead 15 times over.
Can I be gay for a minute and bring up my part of my pedigree, as they say, because
Oh, no.
I know how gay that is, and I never talk about it on my own channel.
Captain?
I did do executive protection for a couple of years, and they did. There were some guys at the top that did start utilizing this, like, you're in a car, and for good reason, because it's very, like, the company, like, if you weren't Secret Service, you were this company, right? Gavin D. Becker, you can look that up if you want, if you don't believe me. But they had no shoot scenarios in, like, a vehicle, and you're protecting your client. I don't know how much of it is, like, gimmicky in the way that they did it. But they did teach how to shoot out of windshields and kind of, like, shoot and then get on the move quick. And like your security detail, like, taking your client away. So I don't know how much of that is like made up. Maybe I'm wrong. I only did it for a couple of years, so
I did
totally
a video
wrong.
on this today. It's actually funny we're talking about this. I did a video on it today.
So Austin, you were a high-end escort?
Yes,
Good.
I was actually. Yeah, I got fucked by Kanye West fucked me. That is exactly what
That's
happened.
good.
So that's why you went crazy. That's why.
Yeah. I was just party to it, but on some real levels, like my instructors, because you had to go through an academy to even be on with that company, and all your instructors were Secret Service, FBI, all those guys, and there were some of them who were really good instructors, and they did do like in the equivalent to interdepartmental training if you're in a police department, with, like, inside of a vehicle type of stuff, and some of it seemed useful, but you never know, because
Right.
at the time, you're a guy learning, so
Dude, so I'll tell you a very, very short pedigree anecdote. Here we go on the pedigree. Driving in Ukraine, German dude the high value individual, right? The president, whatever, gets in the vehicle. German dude, his Secret Service equivalent, they all got MP5s. They said, hey, dude, if we get shot at, do not fucking stop. No matter what anybody in this vehicle says, I don't care what rank they are, do not fucking stop, because we will all fucking die. That is vehicle CQB. If you fight in a vehicle, if at any point in your life you're in a vehicle and you're shooting a handgun or a rifle out of the vehicle, that means you are about to die or already shot multiple times. Vehicle CQB is the biggest. So very quickly, I've done PSD for about 2 to 3 years, right? My pedigree, here we go. But it is, anytime we rehearsed anything, was the vehicle's capability, not shooting out of the vehicle. Because you shoot out of a soft skin vehicle, you die, right? So anytime we dealt with soft skin vehicles and on PSD, private security detail, it was drive off of the X. I hate saying that, but drive off of the contact area. If you can't drive out of the contact area, immediately get out of the vehicle, start engaging, and get to hard cover as fast as you can. Anything that's in the trunk of the vehicle might as well be on Mars. You can't get into anything that's in the trunk of the vehicle. If you're taking direct fire contact, whether it be rifle or handgun, that entire vehicle is like going to look like Sicario. If you've seen the movie Sicario, everything in there is about to look like brisket. It's going to be insane. So you have to get, if you're you're driving to the 7-Eleven and dude on the off ramp stops in front of you and slams on the brake. Dude comes behind you, slams on the brake, right? You have to get out of that vehicle or gas it into the dude that's walking towards you in front of you. Because if you are in that vehicle doing all this, like, oh my God, the windshield and then I'm going to shoot over my partner's shoulder. No.
Again, I look, I don't really talk about all my gay government shit or armed shit. It's just I have gone through a little bit of it. I didn't know how much of it was gimmicky or not. Also, Waken suck my balls. I see you, buddy. Suck my entire dick. Anyway,
if you're a
but no, I don't. The point is they say drive off, get away, be a meat shield. That's what you're supposed to do. There's a reason I don't talk about it, because these conversations come up, and then it becomes this like, well, okay, well, do you know this or do you know that? It's like, all right, look, man, I just did this job for a time. I don't know how much of it is real or not. Because 2 years doing a job, it's nothing. This is the reason I give Johnny Q shit, is being a cop for 2 years doesn't teach you really a whole lot. You learn a lot, but not enough practical shit. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I mean, the things that we rehearsed would be in a closed lot. So we would reserve a, a parking garage. So getting from a main road into a parking garage to evade would be something we rehearse, and then bailing out of the vehicle, or setting up a one cone and then painting on the ground a square. And when the command brake, brake, brake is given by your truck commander, you slam on the brakes, and then you bail out, right? As soon as the vehicle comes to a stop with the president.
We gotta stop going down this vehicle CQB rabbit hole. Let's wind it back, because there's a good point in here to wrap the whole Tim Kennedy situation up. Sean Zimmerman says, why not train people right and do positive things for 2A? This video you're playing and the stream is what Matt was talking about. How is this forwarding 2A, putting others down? The reason why you want to bring light to this sort of thing is because people are wasting $1,200 training their wives, daughters, and sons with this sort of nonsense, right? So what we do is we point and we say, hey, that looks really dumb and like a waste, right? Don't do that. You can go learn practical shooting from almost anyone. Vet your local guys. Read reviews, watch their YouTube videos if they have YouTube videos, and you can get real world training for much less money and get real practical skills, the hard skills, as Matt Pranka would say. And that's going to be much more important than whatever nonsense scenario hypothetical that these guys cook up in their crack houses on their weekends, right? So that's why.
Kodiak said bullying works. And yes, it does. Like, hey, this is stupid, Tim Kennedy. Never do this again. All right. And then hopefully they do one of two things. They either choose the money route and they get more shilling, right? Shillings. They keep shilling for other companies, or they just come back to the straight and narrow and like, hey, that was stupid. Don't go to that shoot house. That was dumb. Whatever.
It's like if you see a bad actor acting and you allow them to continue, they're just going to drag more people with them. You call out the bad actor and you move on, right?
Correct.
So, like, as somebody who has literally bullied people into making changes, and I want to give credit to somebody because I know they're still going to get hate, and maybe deservedly so, but, Civilian Tactical, right? I made videos on him for like a fucking year. Dude actually made changes. He stopped, at least when he shilled shit, he made it publicly known on his shorts. Hey, this is a paid sponsorship, blah, 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 right? Bad actors in the gun space can affect people's lives when it comes to products, when it comes to training, when it comes to advice. And that was my main contention. Yes, I do love making fun of people because it's fucking funny. People have made fun of me. I think it's funny. That's YouTube. I don't know how to tell you this. Look at the top YouTube creators. Look at what they're talking about. Oh, Hawk Tua girl scammed everyone in crypto. Those are the top videos right now. It's people talking shit on other people. That is YouTube. If you don't like it, get off of YouTube. I make fun of people because either they're fucking funny and I find the content funny, or I think that they're an actual issue within the gun community space, whether that be your money, new shooters' money, whatever. Those are important things because there's a lot of people now growing up. You think of every 18-year-old you know right now, maybe around other conservatives, they might want to get into owning guns. Well, somebody who is paid to sponsor Taurus or promote Taurus or promote Olight or whatever, they might see a video with, oh, it has 100,000, a million views, right? And they're like, wow, I need a Taurus G3C, right? Like that is some of the negative that can come from that. So it's not a victimless crime to be like gay in the gun tube space. It's not makeup. It's not hairdress shit. It's real life sometimes. So,
well,
it's
Sean
real
came
life
back.
and can be real death too. Sorry to cut you off, John, but
No, you're good. So Sean came back and said, I said the training video was part of the problem. This isn't the fix. No, this is part of the fix because people don't realize that is training or nonsense. Because you can see dozens and dozens of people taking this course, spending many, many thousands of dollars. So calling them out is part of the fix. That is how that goes. And like Vintage says, so when you bully people, they stop doing the thing. Like if we've ever called out a company or a product, like that sometimes leads to the company improving or individuals improving their content. So it absolutely does affect positive change. You might not like it just because you view it as negative for some reason, which a lot of the times is just toxic positivity. Like, why can't you just be happy? This guy's happy about this product. You're just a hater. Like, call it whatever you want. Like, the product is bad. The person is bad. The person's a shill. Like, me talking about it does not change that.
And I can kind of understand where he's coming from a little bit in saying that instead of making this type of content, we should be making training content. But I think it's more important to call this out first and say, hey, stop wasting your money on these things. This is bad.
I also have to be clear that not everybody can do everything. Like, I can talk about some things pretty well. I can't train you like other people can. So there are people that are very good at that. Go to them for that. Don't go to me for training. That's not what I do, right? So I wouldn't go to Vintage Warfare channel. It's like, hey, why aren't you training people? That's all we need right now. It's like, well, Vintage is a funny man who responds to people online, right? That's not what he does. It's very different. So
yeah, I'm not here to give training advice. I'm here to point out and say, hey, I think this could have been done maybe a little bit better, and also to point out the obvious shills when there's obvious monetary incentives.
Well, yeah, that's a deep rabbit hole. Was there anything else in this video, Richard, do you remember, worth talking about?
Just he closes out by basically covering the same thing, saying, civilians don't have body armor. We've got to focus on the civilian aspect of it. He goes through almost word for word the exact same spiel that he opened with right after Tim just shot a cop.
Well, let's finish this out real fast, then we'll move on if people want to stick around.
Going through ATAC training.
I'll be right back.
Pretty humbling. Like, there wasn't a perfect run in there. I've been shooting for a long time, and I'm still learning in every single corner. And having Travis give me new nuggets, as he was calling it, morsels of information that give you maybe a little bit more advantage than you had a few seconds ago.
Right.
The firearms industry, maybe we've had it wrong for a really long time. And in here, you get to learn new ways, new approaches, using new senses, some that you'd never use anywhere else. You have something really special here, Travis.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, so what we're trying to do is just change the paradigm. As we saw out across the firearms training industry, the firearms training industry exclusively uses templates for military and police to train. And as we don't have body armor.
I just disagree with that. Most training is basic training, which is what you need. You need to execute the fundamentals at a high level when it comes to shooting. like as Trench has talked about, there is such a wide variety of things that go into being a prepared, capable person. Very little of that is actually shooting. But when you want to learn about how to get good at shooting, just practice the shooting stuff and everything else kind of falls into place.
Yeah, get a shot timer, set up paper targets, have a way to shot timer to measure your time and actually measure your hits, alphas, charlies, whatever, and actually write down or record it on a camera and, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, shooting is such a small part of this whole thing. And this is just bad shooting training and bad tactics training.
It's bad shooting, it's bad tactics, and it's $1,200, right?
It's insane.
Armor, extra ammo, arm backup, medical backup, or qualified immunity. Why would we want to train like military and police when really our primary objective is not to be shot, not necessarily to put all our eggs in one basket and shoot the threat?
Yeah, in that MET-TC mindset of mission aim time terrain.
Oh yes, the cop out, MET-TC. So really briefly, MET-TC is the cop out for any leader in the Army, maneuver leader, mission enemy time terrain, troops and civilian considerations. MET-TC. That's a cop out answer for anything. Oh, it's MET-TC dependent. It's like it's a meme, right?
Well, John, I don't know where you're getting your ammo for, but ammo prices are going down. It's like 45 cents a round right now for 5.56. So $1,200 is nearly 3,000 rounds of 5.56. So $1,200 is a lot of training value. I mean, $1,200 is a $600 class, which is still expensive, and 1,500 rounds of ammo, right? So $1,200 is insane.
Yeah.
I'm not running towards the center.
Oh, my bad, dude. Somebody commented MET-TC is mill speak for I don't know, bro. It depends. Yeah, MET-TC is like a literal in my community in the infantry. MET-TC is like a actual meme where if you don't know the answer, you say, "Oh, it's MET-TC dependent."
Gotcha. Everybody's kind of Ammo Seek. If you want ammo, go to Ammo Seek. They have the best prices listed with shipping costs. So go there if you
True.
Want. That's True. Where I go 99% of the time.
It away and protect my family.
Right.
What I loved is having to use senses. I'm not going to give it away because you have to take this. You have to come check out ATAC training. But for example, as we're going through getting lots of reps and new rounds and additional iterations, the rooms are completely modular. You're able to lengthen them, make them deep and shallow. Then we go over into the house and do scenario-based training. You'll go in one room and you'll have a bunch of shoots and then a no shoot. The very next room, if you just don't take a second pregnant pause and listen, you're going to go in there and make a terrible mistake.
Did you say pregnant pause?
I thought that's what I heard.
I don't know what's happening.
It's just like a Garantham thing.
If you just
getting a sub moment.
So many loads.
You'll have a bunch of shoots and then a no shoot. The very next room, if you just don't take a second pregnant pause and listen.
Pregnant pause. Do not come.
And again, not to ruin it, but like you're going to have to use all of your senses.
That's right.
There's fog, there's screaming, there's sounds, there's laughing, there's shoots, no shoots. So it's a lot. It's a lot to process, but it's priceless. When I say priceless, I truly mean priceless. This is training that could save your life. Come check out ATAC. Come shoot with Travis. It's been 16 years since I've got to see him. And
I wonder what he really thinks after not seeing this guy for 16 years, coming to his new shoot house, and then going over this like 3-4 hours of shooting. And
then he said, "Hey, bud, so how?" He's like, "So check the check.
How big?
How many zeros?" That's what's going through. Hey, FN is writing on this. My sponsorship with FN is writing on this. You better not fuck it up. That's what happened.
Oh, I should have. Let me pull up that link again because I'm actually curious now. In the other footage, see, that's funny. You're right. So in the other footage, they're all using the Mark IV pistols, but with Tim Kennedy, they specifically had the FN pistols on. I wonder if that's like contractual. Is Tim's like, guys,
it has to be, dude. It has to be.
He's shooting 5.7. He's shooting the 5.7. Oh, it's got to be 22, sir. Basically is. He's just shooting the 5.7 through everything.
Yeah, actually, no. J-Jax, he's right. He got paid. It doesn't fucking matter at that point. He's helping his boy out. He got paid for it. Just make sure FN looks good and idiots want to sign up for this. That's really all that matters.
And he's still doing the exact same thing that he's always been doing, which is.
Is that a good thing, though? If you're still doing the same thing you were doing 20 years ago?
No.
Well, dude, it depends. Electrician, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, 12 years ago, you know those battle belts that are like triple the fabric and they have like suspenders? That's That's what we wore 12 years ago. We wore for recon, we wore the literal suspenders and we would tape it, the hook buckles, we would tape it with duct tape or 100-mile-an-hour tape to keep the battle belt to us. And evolve. You gotta evolve. You gotta evolve with time, dude.
That's funny because I've used a lot of that fucking tape to keep shit pinned down.
Yeah.
Is trying to empower the individual to protect and preserve
War belts. Chris is right. We used to call them war belts back in the day.
Hell yeah, baby. War belts.
That's what we used to call them. And they were like this thick and they had padding around them. And we would have the suspenders and we would be on the flat range with our Beretta M9 and think we were the coolest thing ever.
Brother, I was in the Army. You're describing some of my time.
Hell yeah. War belts.
Hell yeah, baby. With that LBE, baby.
Dude, so I know they get so much crap these days, but I love the thick war belts.
Are we doing this? Are we doing this?
Mine's sick. It's over here somewhere.
Are we having a gear off?
Dude, I've been using this thing for like a decade now. This is like I've worn this belt for 17 years or whatever it is. But no, this thing is so comfy. It's the 2-inch like padded. It's like it's the old Condor one too. So it's like a cheap belt, but I've been using it forever.
All right,
love that.
Beat this. Motherfucking Smurf rig, dude.
Oh, there we go.
You're gonna laugh at this. I know this isn't tactical shit. This was just something I could grab right off cuff. But it's one of my old load-bearing vests.
What do we got here?
Got it. Huh?
Pull it back up. Pull it back. I full screened you.
Oh,
Pull
my
it up.
old one of my old load-bearing vests.
Oh, there you go.
Flick. That thing is trash.
Yeah, baby. I love these things, dude. I think I still got a dip cup in here. I'm just kidding. I don't have that.
So every sergeant major ever asks, why do guys have to buy their own gear? Technically, my current issued flick is what you just held up.
Yeah,
so
man.
Because it's either that or the tap. So obviously, dudes buy their own gear. But yeah, hey, if you guys need a way to carry some MREs, some water, go buy an old. Are these still available?
Dude, it's great. These canteens are great. I think I pissed in this one.
Go
You
buy
can
a
find a lot
Smurf
of those
rig.
plus. So
Go to a military surplus store.
Gear off.
entertaining random fact. I was in the Tactical Tailor catalog for 3 years without knowing it. Just candid
Tactical
photographs.
Tailor? Dude, I used to go to those at Fort Lewis. I used to head over to that spot when I was a youngin'. That's
do you
funny.
have pictures from it? Because you ought to get those framed. Those are cool.
Can we just take note of how fast all of us ran to our closet to grab our favorite gear to show the camera?
I had it right there, so I was like, oh,
I just happened to have it right next to me, to be honest.
Bro,
it was either that or a German World War II uniform. You take your pick.
I
It was
sprinted
in
across
arm
my
reach.
house. I'm like,
Yep.
wait, I get an
My current-
opportunity to show my Smurf gear. I sprint across the house.
My current belt is sitting right behind me, and I've got to say thanks to one of the kind viewers of the channel who sent it in for me to play with. So thank you very much. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Chad, if you're still here, that means you are a real MVP of the Focus Trip channel. So you could do one of two things or both. You can either hit the like button on the actual video right now to support Focus Trip's channel, or
If you don't, you're gay.
or you can grab your whiskey and go in and take a big old shot of it with me right now, okay? So either hit the like button or drink some whiskey, or I'm going to call out your pedigree, liberal.
That's right. Liberal. Listen here, liberal. All right.
Listen here, Hoss.
Let's go
To the
through some of
comments?
these comments because these comments
Yes.
are hilarious. So the pinned comment on this video that is 2 weeks old. This is on Tim Kennedy's YouTube channel. The pinned comment is from Tim Kennedy, of course. Big thanks to ATAC for having us out and letting us experience their incredible 360-degree live fire shoot house. Their training is next level, and if you're serious about building real-world skills, you've got to check them out. Head over to https- I'm not going to read that out, tacticalcourse.com for more info. So, yeah, it's an ad, right? The
This whole
pinned
thing
comment.
is cringe.
Tim Kennedy, 19 and love my AR-15 because I'm pretty sure that Tim Kennedy was one of the guys that said you should be 21 or over to own an AR-15. So that's the top comment underneath. Stolen Valor. All the replies are gorgeous. Please address the recent accusations of stolen valor. Anti-Hero Podcast would like to have a word with you. a bunch of Spanish spam.
Translate the Spanish spam.
Hello, sir. Invest in Dogecoin, sir. Any
Just
of
the
those comments?
Just the one that I translated is, you killed a police officer, sweating emoji. Really great situation, Travis. Wow, magnificent concepts. Too important to train in several complex situations. Great, bravo. So much detail. The reflexes are instinct. Nothing better. You have to be inventive to take on lots of challenges. Like Tim Kennedy said, you have to be a Swiss Army knife. 100 US heart emoji.
Sounds like
No
an Indian.
way. That was amazing.
It sounds like a Johnny Q comment. I'm going to be honest.
Never go full Kennedy, says Bob. How many mistruths are in this video? A lot. There are a lot of problems in this video.
We know there were 3 truths, but how
Well,
many mistruths?
Well, we didn't even hear 3 of them. We only heard Did Vintage just die?
I just died. No, we're good.
Is this filtered by?
I was grabbing a piece of scrim and it was under the mount.
That happens.
Yo, is this filtered by the vest?
Sorry. We are going to talk about, actually, Vintage. I do want to have you on to talk about the Gundies if you're up for it at some point. But
how long are you going to be streaming for? Because I got to charge my phone for like 10 minutes on the lightning cable.
I'll be around. We have the Instagram nonsense to get into as well. But Randy reviews it.
Do I have 10 minutes to fucking charge the phone and then hop back on?
Go for it. Do it. Do it.
Sweet. All right.
But,
Later, Reddit. I'll be right back.
So, what did Johnny Q get nominated? Richard, could you check what Johnny Q got nominated for the Gundy for? Because I wonder if him and Vintage are going up against each other. That would be funny. But going back to the comments, levels the house with grenades. Yes, of course. Any plans on making an appearance on the Anti-Hero podcast? Probably not. Tim, no grenades. Kennedy isn't so much of a star in this video. Me, when I spread misinformation on the internet. No children were harmed in the making of this video. Yeah, because that's a reference to Tim Kennedy throwing grenades into a room full of women and children.
What is that all about?
So in his book, which the Anti-Hero guys went over on their podcast, there's a section in there where there was like a gunner in a room, apparently, and from like 80 feet away, he lobs a grenade into the room. But there were also women and children barricaded in there as well. And so later on, he goes through there and sees all the dead bodies. No idea if any of that actually ever happened. His one witness for that is dead.
Okay.
So it's one of those stories. There's all these crazy stories that involve him and this one buddy of his who unfortunately passed away. And that guy who passed away is his witness for all of the craziest stories. Like, taking shots with a 408 shy tack at like 1,200 yards, 1,200 meters or something like that, which never happened at the Firebase Anaconda, as far as I remember in that podcast. But all of his witnesses for these crazy stories are this gentleman who is unfortunately now dead. So he uses his name to validate all of his craziest stories, which is always just a little...
Yeah.
It's a little, yeah. Tim Mooney said, it's not a war crime if it's the first time.
And it just comes down to that point of like, why are we embellishing? Just live your, just do your thing, live your life. Why are we embellishing anything?
I don't get that, because as I think you mentioned it earlier, Vintage mentioned it earlier, like he's done cool things, right?
Yeah. He's got a green beret. I don't know if he's Ranger tabbed, but he's got a green beret. He's a senior NCO. Like,
he passed sniper school. He's done lots of cool things, but his need for validation, his need for it's been described as like he's like a movie star, the main character of his own movie, and that's how everything is elevated in the book when he talks about things. And then if you go into different podcasts that he's done, his story has changed over the years, which some of that might just be misremembering things. That could be normal, but when it's written down in a book and vetted and edited, that's a little strange.
I mean, for his career part, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, because he, from what I know of him, he has led a very successful career. You know, like I said, airborne qualified, jump master, Bravo Force sniper qualified, special forces, I believe Ranger qualified. Like, he's done a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Combat infantryman's badge. I'm assuming EIB as well. So he's done a lot, but like, why, why the war stories? Just leave it. Like, you probably have already stacked bodies. Leave. So you've already stacked bodies, most likely, right? Just cool. Like, cool, dude. You know what I mean? You don't need to get the FN sponsorship or whatever he's after. Just, I don't know. Maybe we all have a different mindset, or I have a different mindset of like, I mean, you're only going to be around here for like what, 60 to 80 years. So just like, be a chill dude. There's that meme. Like, be a chill dude, man. Like, it's not that serious. You know what I mean? It really isn't.
Money.
I mean,
Money
I get
has
that.
a lot to do
I
with it.
understand, but you can get a
And
sponsorship without the embellishment.
yeah, I think he's getting more than this. I think he's getting more than a sponsorship. I think he's getting lucrative brand deals on the side for a lot of things. And I think he may have. Is it true that he was that he received some funding for recruitment?
I mean,
well,
we
That's
talked.
alluded to because he did do some stuff. I've seen like Instagram posts and stuff about it, but nothing like concrete. Right.
What I'll say is, you got to look at.
Tom Wilson has a good point. He says, "I hope nobody votes him into office," because in his rebuttal video, he does mention that there was like a discussion of him doing something in office, and then everything conveniently timed, like a hit job came out against him. I don't know if any of that is true, but if you look at Tim Kennedy, what he's done in Strike Force, in UFC, being an entertainer on top of being a cool guy, on top of writing books, the trajectory is politician.
The trajectory also seems assisted.
Well, of course, he has the background that people like. He's already shown himself to be pro certain positions that would be like anti-2A and whatnot. And he's already taken money from all these different companies. So I believe that he's also a charismatic person who has a following, who can then be used to push bad ideas. Right.
And he also has the in with a lot of the media personalities. And I don't know how you managed to get your own exclusive show on the History Channel, or was it A&E?
I don't remember that, but yeah, no, because he's an entertainer, right? He did for 15 years in MMA, because MMA is not just fighting, right? There's a lot of marketing. You have to build your personality. It's a lot like wrestling in a lot of ways, right? The actual fights themselves, of course, matter, but if you can build a name for yourself, that's way bigger than just winning fights off of no name. Right?
Conor McGregor. I mean, that's his whole thing.
Well, it's been, Tim Kennedy and Conor McGregor have actually won fights in the same time frame, right?
Yeah, I know.
I think Tim Kennedy retired in 2017 or something, 2015, and that was also like the last time Conor won a fight. So yeah, it's that sort of thing.
But back to voting for people. You mentioned voting for Tim. The most influential male of the year category is what Austin was nominated for. And Johnny was nominated for most entertaining creator. So they are two separate categories.
Darn it. I think it would have been funny to have them go up head to head. I think that would have been a good matchup.
Do people actually go to the Gundies or watch? Is it a live stream or something?
No, people pay actual money.
Yes. Well,
to go to this.
That is going to be a stream on its own. I want to have Austin on. We've been talking to Kurt from VSO, because the Gundies is kind of a cool idea of like I don't know, like a fun event for like gun tubers and whatnot, but it instantly became corporate shill media stuff.
Yeah.
So it is as bad as any other event you could imagine.
Like, I would never go out of my way to stream the Gundies anymore. I feel like back in, was it like 2016-ish? The Gundies were cool, but like nowadays it's just like, I expect to see some like O-Light. I think Vintage talked about all the cringe, like SDI, O-Light, like you name it. I expect to just see some cringe come across the screen.
Yeah.
Did Bryce Mitchell knock out Kron Gracie? Oh, that's actually good if he did. That's fantastic because Gracie shouldn't have been in the main card of 310, which is going on right now. So actually, good for Bryce Mitchell. Sorry, I got distracted by UFC.
Are we still talking about the Gundies?
Well, we were just bringing it up because I do want to have a stream with. We've been talking with VSO about talking about the Gundies because he doesn't like it, and then it would be also because you're nominated this year. So
it's more of a like I started off. You probably saw on Instagram before Meta decided to buck break me. It was more of a joke, like me being female influencer of the year. But then I expected them to just outright be like, all right, fuck you, retard. Like, we know what you're trying to do. I don't know if they thought it was like an error, but they put me on male influencer of the year or most influential male. And I thought that was kind of funny. So I'm like, all right, well, how do I get on? So my goal is to get on stage and to do a pseudo, like if I could by chance somehow, and I looked at the list, like I know it's gonna sound bad, like a lot of the people there are there because they were nominated by maybe 100 people, like. I don't know how many of them are going to get in the top 5, and I think that the Gundies is a big Leviathan circle jerk, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to talk about. That's why I want to bring it up, and I think we might even in January I might live stream against the Gundies, like reacting to the event and whatnot, and have like a top 5 worst category for all of the worst people in the industries. Do like a Razzies to the Oscars, but for the Gundies, I think that would be fun.
That's a really good idea.
So, spoiler alert, that's my big stream for January. That's what I got for that.
So my whole thing is if I can somehow meme my way on stage, I'm just gonna troll the Gundies. I'm basically going to, spoiler for those of you in the know now, basically I'm going to do this kind of like long pause, okay? Kind of watch Look Who's Back, and then you'll understand where I'm getting that inspiration from. And then going through that my life is the plot to Good Will Hunting, and that I'm from the inner city, couldn't afford to pay my public library fees, right? Intermittently throughout the stream, doing the when I speak, you listen. I'm from the inner city. Like something like that. I'm writing. There's a couple of different scripts that I've written. I'm not gonna fucking win, but if I do, it would be really fucking funny. Is kind of where I'm going with it, because I was gonna go to SHOT Show this year just because I don't know. I wanted to harass people. But now that that's on the block, I think it could be really funny if I somehow won that category. Because I think the Gundies, Leviathan circle jerk that it is, I think that they even know that like the same people win every year, and I think that they're tired of it, and they misspelt my name. They have this blurry image of my logo on my my page. And I think that's the funniest shit ever. So I haven't sent him anything. I replied to him once. I'm like, yes, thank you for putting Vintage Warfare on the ticket. And this poor intern chick was like, oh shit, we spelt that wrong. I'm like, no, don't fix it. And she's like, oh no, we fixed it. I'm like, all right, it would have been funnier if you didn't.
I think we're all with Quantum here. You got to work on this.
Workshop it a bit more so that when you get on stage, it's
dude, honestly, like
you're going for tact to cringe. If you're going for tact to cringe, perfect. Make it as awkward as possible.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the audience very uncomfortable.
You're making all of us uncomfortable. This is the most uncomfortable we have all been.
This is a good test group for it.
Hey, I'm just going to keep drinking. I'm going to try to get as extra alpha up as I can for my pedigree. This isn't helping.
All right, well, let's grab some of these super chats real fast, and then let's get into the Instagram cringe that I also want you to do a video on vintage because it's very good. It's very good. All right, so Tap Rack Stovepipe for $1.99. Thank you, sir. Says, take my monies. Also, Sig sucks. Enough said. I agree. Boomani, I'm not gonna get a Sig sponsorship anytime soon. That's for sure. Bomani Igloo for $5 says, Mr. Vintage, this is Dr. Ranjit. We have been trying to reach you about your test results. Please contact us ASAP.
I'll get on that right away.
Bush for $4.99 says, I'm trying to recommend a new YouTuber for you to get on, but it won't let me send those super chats. His tag isn't even vulgar. Well, yeah, we've already talked about this. You sent them to me on Instagram, so I will take a look. $1.99 for Bush says, Texan SFU. It works now. Andrew Vachon for $1.99 says, I have to duck out. Can't wait to finish this. Yes, we will.
All right, Andrew.
It'll be a good 3 hours of listing material for you guys later, if you can stomach that long. Quantum for $10 says, Sage Dynamics missed out shilling FN in this video. Well, yeah, Sage Dynamics did the exact same thing. So, you know.
Damn, I didn't know that. Sage
dude, so, you know what? It's funny because I got given information on Sage Dynamics.
I want to know.
From a guy, and then he deleted his Instagram because he told me not to talk about it. But now that he's gone, can I talk about it?
Yes, I want to know because I want to know.
Mr. Sage, I have great respect for a lot of your content, but I was told by a little birdie that you got paid $15,000 to not mention Rust in your FN 509 video. I heard that. I don't know if that's true or not. But I did hear that from someone. So, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Terribly Tactical for $2 says, I have one question. Where are the goth chicks at? We have Vintage. Vintage is our female representation.
You're right.
Backwards hat, AirPods. Yeah.
Oh, these aren't AirPods, brother.
Dude, you're like this big. I can't see it.
Dude, we got the phone squad on tonight. J-Jack for $1. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Bush for $1.99. Speaking of politics, when do we wave the black flag? I don't know what that's in reference to, sir. But in Minecraft, I don't know. All right. Let's get that. Thank you very much. Let's move on to something even worse.
Bro, focus. I wasn't even gonna hop on because it was like I was committed.
I know. Listen, if anybody needs to take off at any point, that's fine. We can just
we're committed now.
Now you're on.
Pedigree. I'm trying to get
I'm in it for the long haul at this point.
All right, so let me pull up this guy's Instagram account for reference. So this is the Instagram account of Mr. Bjorn alias, real name Jesse Henderson, apparently.
Oh, no. This
was sent to me by Crimesman. And the entire account is just the cringiest things you could imagine. So I curated like 20 of the best.
Okay.
So we'll go through some of these. Let me know what you guys think.
I will not be afraid.
Yes, I'm already happy. I'm already happy.
I will not be afraid of the many thousands that stand up against me on all sides.
And that is everything. So the comments on this are amazing. This is even gayer than actually being gay.
Wait. I need to like watch this.
Yeah, no. Everything is like this. You'll get a lot of this. This is the first out of about 15, so don't worry.
My man thinks he's like a medieval Total War like king in real life.
I will not be afraid of the many thousands that stand up against me on all sides.
That's it. That's the whole clip. All right. Let's move on to another one. So you see the nunchucks. It's already good. You know what we're dealing with here.
Hey, John, can you make it bigger?
Not only that,
I do have to be careful.
some of this just makes us weird. Or perhaps a newfound sense of humor.
So this is the thing. We got to stop. I have never seen this before, but this is going to pop up later. He cooks his AR parts in the stove.
Oh my god!
Why?
So this is going to pop up.
Hell yeah! Based. Let's go.
You know what? Johnny Q is based. This is Actual.
Yeah, Johnny Q, perhaps I've treated you too harshly.
I've never heard of this before. He bakes his stuff and then he cleans it. And then he has like tutorials on it. I've never seen that before. I don't know
Bro.
but this is like a thing that he does.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just behind the curve.
No.
Yes. Yeah,
There's issues with dude, real quick, I want to cover this. Anything over, I think it's 275 degrees Fahrenheit. I have to check the exact temperature, but it will affect the structural integrity of your aluminum receivers. Like when I was doing Cerakoting, I had to be very careful to not pass that thermal threshold.
But it's going to get worse because he's going to do polymer parts in there as well.
Oh, God.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
My God.
It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now.
You are at 16 says this is why we shouldn't have stopped gatekeeping. Exactly.
Yes.
So AK parts you can bake to get out the oil and the cosmoline and stuff like this. This is not what's going on. He is doing this as standard procedure to clean his parts.
So chat, post exactly how many minutes and at what temperature you cook your DiGiorno AR-15. Is it 10 minutes at 400? Post down below in the chat. How many?
I'm not gonna lie. This looks like every dude I've ever known that did meth.
Dude, it's gonna get weird because there's also things that like make him look like he's a normal person, like a talented person, but then everything else is like autistic. You'll see it. Some of it's like, oh, this is like a normal person, but what is going on here?
As a Florida man, I have to concur with Austin that he definitely looks like he did all the meth.
It's not delivery. It's palmetto.
It's not delivery. It's Diamondback. That's what it would be.
Yes.
Not delivery.
Anderson. We got our Anderson. 20 minutes at 400. Anderson.
Oh boy.
All right.
Pepperoni pizza, baby.
Now, some of it has copyrighted music on it, so I might turn the audio off on it every now and again because I don't want to get a copyright strike for this guy's retard video.
Point is, we would not grow without it. And it is for more benefit.
Whoa.
Hop.
Oh no.
Fucking hop.
Oh
hey,
no.
Focus. You need to send me this guy's this motherfucker is my next video.
It is something
this guy
I want to chase.
The caption is pain is power.
Pain is inevitable. But I think suffering is optional.
Oh, this is perfect. Keep Austin weird. Of course, this guy is in Austin. Not in this Austin, but in Austin, Texas. All right. We got a lot of these.
Wow.
Freedom. In the truth of feelings. If you must stay, let it be. Because your heart tells you this is where you belong. Not because I asked you to. I want to be a choice, not a default option. I deserve someone who sees my values.
What is
the scarf? Oh man. Yeah.
There's a lot.
That's what I bring to their life. I don't want someone who stays with me out of fear of loneliness or out of habit. I want someone who stays.
He's so mysterious. He's so mysterious, dude.
9 likes on
this motherfucker watches anime.
He's watched Twilight 100 times on repeat. He's so mysterious.
Well, so if you look at it, the tags are Thomas Shelby,
okay, yeah, he's boomer. He's young boomer core with their idols. Yep. All right. I got it pegged.
No, we got more. We got more nunchuck.
Yo, this is Lawman Land's son.
Oh, does he really hang out front of his house listening to EDM and playing with nunchucks? Oh my God.
It looks like he's not, like, he has some coordination. He's not like hitting himself in the face. So I mean, he practices this, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
The meth makes you faster than the nunchucks.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't even matter if he's on drugs now. This is like incredibly fucking gay.
Oh, dude,
Holy shit.
even better. Ready? All right.
Oh, make this bigger, please.
It's on. Can I zoom in on this?
I think you can zoom just. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So
Techno Viking, your whole persona.
No.
yeah. That's it. You got him.
So black coated.
Oh man. Dude, keep going. This is what I live for. This is what I fucking live for.
This comment on yours: in America, we call this autism.
Hold on. Who would you rather seek tactical advice from? This guy or the 22 pistol guy?
Dude, I'm taking this guy.
This guy knows what's up, dude.
I'm
He
taking
got the
this
nunchucks.
Wait till we get to the gun stuff, because there is gun stuff.
Oh no, he might accidentally kill
Don't
himself.
tease me like this.
Dude, he might kill himself.
He studies the blade.
So it's hard to tell it here, but at one point it looks like there's blood coming off of his ear, like he accidentally
he nicked his ear.
That's what it looks like at one point in this little Instagram clip. I don't know if
holy shit.
What, but
yes. Be
the unstoppable cap cut.
Hell yeah, cap cut.
Let's watch that.
Don't commit seppuku.
So if you look, the inside of his ear looks a little like bloody, like he hit it with a nunchuck or something.
He's even got the tatami mats.
He might have.
Yeah, absolute bizarre. Oh, here we go. This is bad.
Where do you even get tatami mats in Austin, Texas? Like,
all right.
Cannot.
Oh, okay. Punching.
No, this is gonna be bad. I'm gonna try.
Oh, give me the gun shit, baby. Let's go.
Dude, don't do this.
Give me the gun shit.
Don't
the
do
comments.
this to us.
Yes.
The comments.
Go away.
Yes.
Don't do this to us.
Oh, give me this. It's a video for me. Give me my
It's always there, so I am often misunderstood. And that means that I walk a path that no one else really walks. Despite all of the downsides, there are many upsides, like wisdom.
Have you ever watched Kung Pao? Have you ever watched Kung Pao? Any of you ever watched Kung Pao?
I've seen it. That's the spoof.
We trained him wrong as a joke. Like, this is that guy.
Dude, my man is the main character of his own movie right now.
Oh, dude, that is so true.
He's so mysterious. He's like,
oh my god.
It was like he watched the final edit and was like, "OMG, this is perfect. I'm gonna upload it now." Oh my god! The comments on this are good.
I'm not kidding, folks. You need to send me. I don't know if I need to ask you to send me the funniest videos. This is gonna be a video tomorrow. Please give me.
This
holy
one comment.
Fuck.
How do I become this gay?
Give me this.
Instagram,
fuck you for banning me.
Dude, this is top tier cringe. This is
dude. I need it. I need this.
I would. If M26 Lemon Grenade made videos just like this,
gosh,
I would pay. I would pay for this.
Yeah, open a Patreon just for your cringe content. Only cringe.
Only cringe.
Unyielding, unstoppable, seemingly unkillable willpower to move forward.
Why is he limping?
And resilience.
His backyard, like there's
by the pool. It's like a.
Oh gosh.
Why was he limping?
Well, he has a gold cane in other footage, so there is something going on with his leg.
I will not be stopped. I cannot be stopped. I will not be dominated. I will keep driving forward until my last breath. And make no mistake, As I've been saying, that is nearly impossible.
I mean, like, he has practice with nunchucks. I guess that's cool, right?
Does he have a driver's license?
Yes, he does drive.
Do you think?
Is it suspended?
Dude, I don't think he has a driver's license.
Let me explain this. There is a clip that I did not show, but it's a clip of him with a media team with porn stars and cars. It is,
dude.
I didn't want that one for the stream. I was like, nope, that's a little. I'm not going to put that one on my stream. But this guy's content is very interesting. Unkillable.
Sir, I need this in my email tomorrow.
That's an
Tonight.
actual stripper pole.
Is that actually a stripper pole in there?
That is a stripper pole in the middle of the velvet couch.
So
What
this
is
guy
happening?
this guy has money somehow, because we're going to see him fly. We're going to see him drive nice cars. Even if they're rented, it requires money from something. I would not be surprised if this guy is autistic enough to do like OnlyFans managing or something weird like that, where he's just skimming money off of people. He's a weirdo.
I love how now.
Yeah.
What he exploded, dude.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, trust funds are a hell of a drug. Well, that's the thing. If you look at some of his other stuff, it's like a rundown neighborhood, rundown cars. And then in later stuff, it's like nice house, nice cars. So there's
working at a law firm.
Yeah, that's what.
Who knows?
Sorry, I was reading the chat. He's working at a law firm. He's a paralegal.
Oh, right. We got more though, guys. No, sorry.
The katana has me worried. Like he's gonna hurt himself.
My entire life, I've dedicated myself to an honorable way of living.
Yep. That is absolutely a stripper pole.
Never alone has taught me a few things.
Dude, he 100% has a Tinder account.
What?
And he 100% has a Tinder account, and he like solicits women to come dance on that fucking pole. 180%.
Bro, the fact that Richard is like, Richard right off the rip is like, I understand the architecture of that stripper pole. That is definitely a stripper pole.
Yes, that is a stripper pole. 100%.
Oh, jeez. He's working on his license. Woo.
Dude, I'm not kidding. Somebody like download this, please. I hate that Instagram is so gay. I need this man's content.
Yo.
Oh my god.
Outside event. Once you realize and conquer this, you gain strength. And by the end of it, possibly even wisdom. This practice isn't about anger. It's about learning your own skill, wisdom, and intellect.
He's saving
Every
you.
challenge.
Hold on. Is he flying? Hold on.
No, he's in the passenger seat. That's on the right side. That's on the right side of the helicopter.
He does fly. You're going to see him fly in these Instagram clips.
Wait,
no
he
way.
is actively piloting the aircraft.
There are clips in this where you're like, is this a normal guy with money or is this a psycho autist? You don't know.
Dude, is he
inside him are two wolves?
I actually do want to know this guy's lore because there's something wacky going on here.
He seems like the perfect type that would be great at doing air traffic control for some major airport like Austin.
He is in Austin. I don't know.
We're letting you cook here.
Every enemy is an opportunity for you to become stronger. Every challenge, every wall climbed, every level beaten.
Hey, he's got a Sig Romeo 8T on there. That's my favorite red dot. Unbelievable. That's expensive optic. Damn, son.
Yeah,
I've seen him on.
Dude, maybe we're all just
It's a new
pores in
strength.
this man's shadow. Holy shit.
Challenge.
He also has a lot of overseas footage as well, like in Thailand and stuff. So there might be some weird drug kinky stuff happening.
Dude, this dude is a psyop for sure.
It might be AI generated, you know? This might be one of those
I don't.
Or he might be fond of the lady boys.
Everything
He might be.
happens for you, not to you. Will you be the puppet, or will you cut the strings and take control for yourself?
Achilles.
The choice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The Achilles edit. The Achilles edit.
He's gonna start quoting like Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers and stuff like that. That's the next genre we're about to move into.
Dude,
This
guy
motherfuckers
gives
will believe in
autistic
anything
people a
but
bad
Jesus.
I know what I'm doing. What about you?
Cap
I allow
cutting the cigar.
manipulation to find out
No, listen to this first part. It's I allow manipulation to find out.
where my enemy wants me to go. With critical thinking and a calm mind, you can understand their plot and reverse it. Strategy not of revenge, but of wisdom and strength and intelligence. Your greatest ally is your own mind. To quote Marcus Aurelius, you only have power over your mind.
So what's so confusing is
Maybe
some of
this
those,
guy's super based. I don't even know at this point.
some of those clips, he looks like a normal dude, and then it immediately goes to autism. and
Send
then
this
goes back.
man to Ukraine.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. Oh shoot, gotta get that.
Hey, focus. I gotta hop off soon, dude. I'm not even kidding. One of you send me whatever the fuck you think is funny to my email. I will make a video on this tomorrow.
I will put it up. I will email all the clips to you so you have the clips because I can just save them here. So I have them all set up. So I just remind me and I'll get that to you.
I'll remind it to you. Honestly, you know what this reminds me of? The Dos Equis guy back in the day. The most interesting man in the world, but like weird.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's this guy. That's this guy.
He reminds me of Corey Feldman.
I really don't. I don't know whether or not to call him based or cringe. Call it based or cringe, chat.
Cringe, yeah, that's
based or cringe, chat. Call it.
Every word you say is reflective of what you believe to be.
So if you can't hear it, it's Jordan Peterson.
All right, cringe.
Well, I was gonna say it's just a word salad. If you listen to what he's saying, it's just absolute nonsense.
The truth, then the pathway that you walk on is a golden pathway to success. That you have to face what you don't want to face in order to fix it. You look at all the things about yourself that need to be burned off, that need to be dispensed with. If you're willing to turn around, face the darkness, like fully what you discover.
I drew the line at Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, no,
That's
me
where I draw
too
the
a little
line.
bit. Me too a little bit. Yeah, he's
Jordan
cringe.
Peterson.
He's
is
cringe.
The cringe like teetering point.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. No, Peterson. No, all Peterson does is cry at people. He's not a right wing role model. You need to learn that real quick. Anyway, guys, I gotta head out. Thank you for having me on, Focus. Appreciate it.
Good night, sir.
Gentlemen, thank you
Captain,
for talking to me. Chat, except for that one guy that I called gay earlier. You're gay, but everyone else, thank you. Have a great night, guys. Even that guy. You know, honestly, even that guy. Have a great night. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Reddit.
All right. Well, now that the liberals are gone, we can finish watching our based overlord.
Heart is the brightest light worth discovering because there's going to be terrible darkness in your life.
Every time Jordan Peterson talks now, he is just crying at you.
Yeah.
So
there's
this
something
particular instance here. I think this was, I think the audio comes from one of the times right before he ended up going to rehab.
That the meth stories are very funny. It was certainly not meth.
Yeah, no, but he openly admits to being on very, very high doses of
correct.
Yeah.
Yo, Focus.
I don't want to get into it, but
how nervous were y'all when Vintage started going down the rabbit hole of the girl with the black boyfriend and the Canadian uprising?
I just don't know what he's gonna say because it's like there's jokes you can make about like Canadian healthcare, about like interracial stuff being pushed by the media for some reason. He could go down a lot of different rabbit holes. So I'm like, where is he gonna go?
Bro, it was so dangerous that I was like, I was so nervous for him. I was like, dude.
Well, like, are we going to be making like racial jokes? If we're making racial jokes, I don't know. I don't even know what demographic it's going to be. If we're making like
Canadian, black, white, it was going all over the place. Male, female, and Civil War, no
care.
Civil War. I was like, holy shit, this could go any direction and we're all just like, don't do it.
I was just sitting back with my popcorn, just waiting to see where it all went. It doesn't bother me too much. People are going to say what they're going to say, and I think that I think everybody, for the most part, knows that he's just having a laugh.
Yeah, I think we all knew that. It was just funny that he was like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, right in.
I'm not Tim Kennedy. I don't have sponsors. So like the worst thing that could happen is if he said something truly, like if any guest said something truly terrible and got me kicked off the platform, but that would be extremely hard to do. Extremely hard to get me kicked off for what somebody on the show did. So I'm very rarely worried about it.
So do I have the hood pass?
You have the hood pass. Well, listen, nobody knows what you are. You're black as far as I know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Focus. You're doing the YouTube thing semi full time, right?
Well, yes. So it's complicated though because I also do video work for another channel. So my own channel is not my entire income.
Right.
50,
My
50.
fiance was basically we were. Long story short, we were enjoying dinner with the fire and everything out back. That I had taken a couple minutes to make up and everything, get going real good. And she goes, "Wait a second. Did you say he's going full time YouTube, and he just hit you up to do a live stream?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I mean that's how it goes, you know.
I mean, it's been a good time. It's been fun.
Time, yeah, not a long time. YouTube can't be permanent. Eventually, everybody's going to get
It's a gamble, dude.
Everybody that's eventually going to get kicked off. So.
Yeah, literally everything you say or do on YouTube is like, "Oh, you're banned." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you know that you're the thing that can transcend your problems, most fundamentally, if you know you're the thing that, if it faces the problems, can transcend them, then you have the faith that would enable you to take stock of who you are. Have you looked at it enough?
Those push-ups look really hard for this, bro.
And why is he even doing push-ups at all?
Not everything you have.
It's easy to do with no equipment, I guess. I mean, he's got a rack there, so I imagine he could be doing other things, but...
Bear on it. You find that there is more to you than there was.
That was better CQB than Tim Kennedy.
I hear that they should make themselves competent.
Well, he's only flagging his neighbors in this, so it's not too bad. But no,
a loaded rifle, 5.56, green tip, could go through the whole world. He's just, this is good. Like, is he flying the aircraft?
I think he is a student pilot.
There is a clip here with him talking about going to the airport to fly. He might be a student. Because in his glasses, there's nobody else there. If you look at his glasses, with the canopy, there's nobody else there.
Bro, this man cannot be trusted. He's on the loose. He's on the loose, chat. He's taking the aircraft. This is 9/11. This is how 9/11 happens right here.
There's somebody else in there with him. Okay.
Yeah, and that's a flight instructor for sure.
Yeah. So he is learning how to fly. So not flying solo. He's learning how to fly. So
yeah, he's taking helicopter lessons. Which based.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, based.
Fun story about something not degenerate. So me and my wife, the way I proposed to my wife is I took my wife on a helicopter tour above Seattle. So you do this big ring around the mountains and stuff like that out there. And so I proposed to her in the helicopter. That's
nice.
Yeah. You know, it's not that
the Space Needle.
Yeah, the Space Needle's over there too. So
Dude, so you know what's funny? I actually proposed yesterday to Nighthawk. If you're a follower of my channel, you know I proposed yesterday to Nighthawk, and I did it at like the zoo with the lights. You know, girls like that shit, right? So we go to the zoo and the lights and everything, and then we go out to a Brazilian steakhouse after. And it's just, well, where was I getting with this? Oh yeah, this morning. Oh well, everything's different now because we're engaged. I'm like, sure, honey, I love you. Everything's special and different now. Yeah, sure.
Oh, Randy says you're lucky this guy wasn't your pilot, or he might have stolen your girl. Very true.
Bro, he's gonna take everybody's girl.
It's that what's that show? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's where they talk about proposing on a boat, right? It's not the it's the idea is there that you would like push them off or not take them back if they said no. I wouldn't, but it's just the implication, right? The implication is there. No, but congratulations on getting engaged, big based.
Thanks, dude.
The implication, right? It's the implication. Uh-oh.
Who do you want to be? Do you want to become unstoppable, unshakable, insurmountable?
The image of him like shoving the nunchucks underneath his legs is quite funny. I don't think he was worried about hurting too much down there.
Immovable, unyielding.
Why the belt?
If the answer is yes.
You don't get the style choices.
Yeah, you're not a black belt nunchuck holder, Richard. You don't understand. You don't get it.
What are these pants?
I can't tell what's happening.
It looks like
died or something.
It looks like he peed his pants because they're super dark up front. That is awkward.
It's time for you to embody this and become.
So he has not great, but okay for an incel.
You need to embrace the
an
pain.
incel autist. He has okay muscle definition for, again, incel autist.
He's relatively thin and lean, which
That's
is
what I'm
better,
saying.
better than the opposite. It's not terrible.
I would
but
take.
it's like coordinated in the later ones because this is pulled from earlier.
So
In
who
the
would you
later-
rather have? Would you rather have him or Wilson Combat people?
In what? Because that's the tough question, man.
Just in general, you have to go on a rock, and at the end of the rock, there's going to be a building that you have to kill people in. Who do you take?
Well, by definition, you take the guy that can do the ruck.
So you take the autist that we're
You
watching.
have to.
Yeah. So you're taking this autist on the rock who can fly a helicopter.
Yes, and he's the point man.
Yes.
Yes.
This guy is based. So now, chat, he's based.
So now we get into the Sigma time frame, where it is the Sigma Fatal Frames, which I think is his sunglass company or something like that.
He's Andrew Tate.
Yeah,
Oh, this
exactly.
is hilarious.
This is just an Andrew Tate knockoff. Is there
This
audio?
is awesome.
No, it's
No
spelled
audio.
Taint. Taint. Andrew Tate.
No audio to this, just smoking a cigar with the hashtag Sigma. That's all it takes.
Bro. How many likes? How many likes for this one?
Dude, it's 6 likes. It's really
Like it. Like it. Focus. Go back and like it. Like it, goddammit.
My
Yes.
comments.
Yes. Say mega base, brother. Mega base, brother. I get it. And say go check out the Focus Trip live stream from 2:30 on.
I'm gonna like my own comment on there.
Bro,
Woo.
this man is gonna be a big time follower.
Dude, no, if we look at this guy's account, he has 9,000 followers,
What?
but it's fake. No, it's fake. He bought them, right? He gets
Okay.
no interaction. Like his latest
Oh.
picture has 29 likes, this 39, 2. It's fake. They're all bought.
Are
They're all-
any of
weekend.
his
Oh, sorry, Richard. Go ahead.
are any of his posts getting any traction at all, or is it all just
I didn't see anything big. I could look over them. So this is the one where he talks about cleaning guns in the oven. This one was
okay?
like, I'm like, what are you talking about?
This is what I'm in for. Let's see this.
Cleaning guns in the oven.
So a lot of these he uses copyrighted music in, so the Instagram took down his audio. So there's no audio to this, but he is getting his guns out of the oven.
So I will say, we've used the shower, like in the infantry, we used the shower to shower guns before, but that's if they're like severely dirty. like severely.
So I've used when I use corrosive ammo in an AK, I've
Okay.
put them in the shower as well.
It's
So
better than not doing anything and letting the barrel rust to death or whatever. But yeah, if we do like a serious workup, we'll spray it with in the shower and then completely dry it and then CLP it and then clean it again.
I've heard of
You
guys
don't leave
using Windex as soon as they're done shooting, as soon as the barrel's cooled off, they will spray the shit out of the barrel and the piston and the gas port and gas block with
Talking about for
Windex.
corrosive?
Yeah, they get done shooting corrosive and they spray the shit out of it with Windex and then they hose it off when they get home.
I mean, this is the question for like Clayco or M26 Lemon Grenade or somebody, but like it's got to, and chat can roast me, but it's got to be better than nothing, right? Like with corrosive ammo, Windex has got to be better than nothing at all, right?
When I have Clay, I'm gonna eventually get Clay on. He was in chat earlier and I told him to toss out an email. I don't have Instagram, so it's. I guess I should probably create one to be able to get in contact with some other people. But I just Discord, YouTube, email, the basic routes and stuff. But I did message Clay, and he said he is down to come on. That is one of the things that I do plan to ask him how to best deal with corrosive ammo in the event that restrictions get lifted and we can start getting some more cheap steel case back into the country.
I mean, I still shoot the old what is it, 122 grain 762 by 39, right? I have a ton. I'm not going to disclose exactly how much, but I have a lot, right? My generation of people, I'm 30-ish, so my generation of gun enthusiasts bought Wasser 10s and thousands of rounds of AK ammo, and that's all
I'm in your generation. I'm 36.
We just spray it down with CLP, dude, and then shoot the CLP out the damn barrel.
Well, CLP is more expensive for me than Windex that I can cut with 99-cent window washer fluid.
Yo, Blue
You know what
Jean
I mean?
operator, get your ass in here. Blue Jean just commented. We gotta get Blue Jean up in this chat, dude.
Yeah, I heard.
In AKs now. I mean, I want to get back to this guy who's.
Yes, let's get back to the oven fest.
Focus. We're all over the place, dude. We've been everywhere from Coleon War to freaking. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Coleon, I will be his own. I think he deserves his own episode with a couple other people that we can do a little bit of a deep dive on some of the stuff that they've done. But yes, let's get back to.
Said it.
All right, so far he has taken out his BCG and his charging handle from the oven.
When the audio was on, did he happen to say what temperature or for how long? Do you know?
He didn't. He was talking about, time to clean my stuff again, and so he's pulling out the recoil spring from his Glock, which is plastic.
Oh no,
bro! If you cooked my Glock, I would be so mad.
I don't even know why you would put that in the oven. Why do you need to clean that? What are you talking about?
You can literally shoot your Glock. He's I can't see the video. He's cooking his Glock.
Well, so he's taken out a bunch of parts from the oven, which is his bolt carrier group, firing pin, charging handle, and for some reason his Glock recoil spring.
Recoil spring and guide rod.
Dude, you can shoot a Glock forever, bro. Not forever, but you know what I mean.
Right. I know.
It only takes a couple of minutes for springs to lose their heat treat in an oven.
So he's ruining his guns. What temperature? Can you see what temp? Focus.
It's super blurry. I couldn't zoom in that far to tell you what it is.
Message him. Say, hey, bro, what temp?
Oh, message him. Message him.
I'm gonna do it live. All right. So what are we gonna say? What are we gonna say to this guy?
We'll do it live. Does it show you if it's active?
Uh-oh. I'm not leaking any other DMs. Hopefully.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, careful what I sent you earlier. That's our
explicit content. Let's see. What are we gonna say? Hey, man.
How long do you cook your Glock for?
What temp and how long?
How long do you cook your?
How long? What temp?
Hey, man. What's your gun cooking protocol?
I have a say. I have a Glock 17 Gen 3 that really needs cleaning.
No. Okay, so
Oh
the
my
last
god.
couple of these, they're as bad as you think they were. So this is another silent one
Oh
where it's
my
now
god.
samurai, Bushido, whatever it is. They're just cringy stuff with his voice overlay. The audio's been removed because it got copyrighted by whatever song that he put in there. So that's basically what the rest of these are. Oh, here's
At
a
the
mark.
end, does he commit seppuku at the end? I just
Right.
Yo, he says, "What's your Glock recipe?"
Building mindset,
Toilet with
a mind that
steak.
focused on
Yo, chat is out of control right now. Chat, post your chat. Comment your best Glock recipe.
When Dexter's seething. Bushido.
Oh my god, dude.
Yo, I need a recipe for my Shadow Systems MR920. Yeah, you know, maybe those guns would work better if you did cook them. So
What? Dude.
I hear they prefer the open fire charcoal versus the oven.
Right. Yes.
Dude, both my Shadow Systems had light primer strikes when I first got them. And I'm not even kidding. Like both of them. I have the MR920 and the DR920L or something like that. It's a Glock 17 long slide. Both of them have the same exact issue. And now I have 20,000 rounds or more through them combined, and they're fine. But both of them have the same exact light primer strike issue. So that's just one thing to note about Shadow Systems.
But anyways, the rest of these are just whatever cringy, artsy stoicism things.
I'm telling you, he looks like Corey Feldman, man.
Dude, I need to use that on a thumbnail. That's good.
Applewood or pecan?
Yeah. The last one over here. It's Marcus.
not surrendering to them.
Marcus Aurelius quotes with Kanye West as the background music. That is exactly what Marcus Aurelius wanted when he was writing Meditations. He's like, someday a black rapper will use my quotes as a backing track. Fantastic.
Oh my god, this is peak.
Okay, so I'm not going to get out of those. I'm going to leave those there because I want Austin to actually have all of those. But we are at the 3-hour mark, gentlemen, which is time to call it quits because that went way longer than I thought it would. But
one last thing before we close out, I did send you a little treat over on Discord. If you could pull that up, it was one of the things.
I screenshotted it. I have it here. Let me pull it up. Just give me 1 second.
I'm telling you, twins separated at birth.
Yeah. So this is Masad Ayub and the president,
Chancellor Sutton.
Yes, Chancellor Sutton from V from Vendetta. Very similar physiognomy.
Now, Masad's not. He's not the one that said no white light, no red dot ever, right?
No, he said no red dot. Am I correct on that? Irons only. That was his thing.
I believe that was his thing. Was you don't need a dot, and the white light was the other one. I
know Ben from Wiseman Company was talking about that, and that was when I was like, "Oh, this guy's a joke now." So I was like, "Okay, whatever. You can say whatever you want, sir. I'm just going to call you retarded."
But yeah, Mossad and the other gentleman, I can't think of his name. Hackathorn. Fuck.
Yes.
Oh man.
Hackathorn of Hackathorn sites.
Oh no.
Yes.
You need a dot on your guns, like, oh really?
Yeah, but they both, Ken Hackathorn. There we go. Both of them said big dumbs within a couple of days of each other, basically. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe Pronka needs to go work for Wilson Combat. I don't know.
Yo,
sorry.
Richard with the base take at the end.
So we got a couple.
Leave it at that.
Read out real fast. Willie McDuff for $4.99. Thank you very much, sir. Says Gundy stream sounds like connoisseur tier content. No, I think that'll be fun. It'll be fun to discuss it, and it will also be fun to live stream against it and then make fun of all of the winners. I think that will be a good time.
It will be fun. I need chat. If you guys could go bother Kurt from VSO, say, hey,
get on the show. Exactly.
We need you.
An Axe to Grind for $4.99 says, thank you guys so much for the stream. I hate celeb vets. I was an 11B, Baghdad 2007, JSS Casino Pedigree Gang Rise Down. Very cool. Well, thank you for your service, sir. And I am much glad that you do not end up like a Tim Kennedy.
Correct. Airborne all the way.
This is the ultimate question. Kramer for $2. Who you banging? This dude or Lucas Botkin? Which one is the better femboy?
I think Lucas might be too thin.
No, Lucas is bigger now. If you look at Lucas,
is he?
Yeah, he's actually been working out and doing good stuff. So, whereas that guy,
that guy might get pregnant because males can get pregnant in 2024, right? So he might get pregnant and run off with your baby and get you for child support. So I pick Lucas Botkin, and Lucas might be able to teach you how to shoot or something.
Ooh, actually, we should rate gun meme pages as well, or just meme pages in general. Damn it, Jeremy does run a very good meme page if you want to follow him. So I think that's about it. But before we go, Trench Grenade, thank you for hanging out for 3 hours when you weren't even scheduled to come on at all. So before we go, where can people find you, and any closing thoughts?
Oh, me? Check it out. Hey, I guess go follow me on YouTube. I post tactics, I post Mustang rants, and I post shooting content, right? So go do that. And if you come over there from this, just say, hey, Focus, saw you on the Focus trip live stream, and I'm here to party, right? So if you want to see, I guess, Ranger Handbook, ATP 3-21.8, tactics, infantry tactics stuff. I'm an infantry dude for the past 12 years. So, and currently serving as a drill sergeant leader. So if you want to come over and hang out, whatever, super chill, whatever you want to do. But yeah, definitely support the Focus Strip channel, because what he's doing here is more important, because just having a conversation with people in an open forum and not like blocking them or muting them or whatever we talk cancel culture, having the discussion is more important than just being like, hey, X-Ray is gay. No, he's not. He just had a bad take one night. He's actually a really good dude, right? So definitely support. If you support me, cool. But I'm here to support Focus on his journey of, I guess, furthering the conversation, if you will, in this 2A space.
And the channel is just going to continue to have conversations with random people. I know every guest that I have on, there's like a certain group of people that's like, screw this guy, I'm never coming on again. If this guy is here, it's like sorry, bro, like it's gonna continue to happen. So get used to it, or I will see you somewhere else maybe. But with all that out of the way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Peace out. God bless.